Good morning and welcome to the July 16th Finance and Audit Committee meeting. I'd like to call today's meeting to order. The board secretary will call the roll to establish a quorum. Lee?
Good morning, Commissioners. Commissioner Hart?
Present.
Commissioner Matos?
Here.
Commissioner Danukas? Commissioner Washington?
Here.
Commissioner Chico?
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Lee. Let the record reflect that Chairman Hooker and Commissioners Brewer, Harris, Patanky, and Parker are also in attendance. I will now present a motion to go into closed meeting for approximately 30 minutes pursuant to the Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 120/2 to discuss matters under the following exceptions: audit review under C29, personnel-related matters under C1, and pending, imminent, or probable litigation under C11. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. We will now retire into closed meeting and back in approximately 30 minutes for the business portion of our meeting. Thank you.
The event today is a unique opportunity for our CHA bigs and our littles to coexist with people that are very successful in many different categories. We have so many different people from diverse backgrounds. If they're entrepreneurship or finance or in government sector, they can really see that there are so many different paths that they can go down even if they never even thought about it.
Talking about career advancement is really important because the students are at an age where that's appropriate. So they're starting to think about these things, and so we have a wide variety of individuals in different sectors. So it piques any student's interest in what they may potentially want to do post high school.
My big thing I want them to take away, there are people out here that are willing to help you. All we need you to do is stand up and say you want it. We're here for you. Coming from the housing complex and living there my entire life, so it's really dear to my heart.
One Million Degrees accelerates community college students on pathways to economically mobile careers. So how we do this is really ensuring that our students are supported through their experience at community college and making sure that they have a system of supports around them.
We at CHA are very excited about this expanded partnership with 1 Million Degrees. We have had a partnership with the City Colleges of Chicago, an intergovernmental agreement for over a decade that has allowed us to support our CHA residents attending city colleges with tuition, books, and fees through a voucher system. And this new partnership with 1 Million Degrees will expand the support that our CHA residents have at City Colleges of Chicago.
I actually came to college with the intention just to see if it was right for me. However, being full-time, it actually showed me that even if I don't like a class, or even if I don't want to take this certain professor, like 1 Million Degrees has shown that it's better to just get through it, because at the end of the day, a degree will change my entire life.
A lot of things have changed for me since I started coming to this school, like 1 Million Degrees. I get a lot of support here. It's more of a community.
So in high school, it was really hectic. I didn't have no help, didn't know what to do. So when I got to OMD and I talked to Chris J, I needed a pathway to start getting nursing, seeing what all classes I needed. So she really got me on track with it.
We provide financial support in the form of performance-based stipends. We provide tutoring supports, and we provide study groups on campus for our students. We also provide personal support, so a program coordinator, somebody who's working with students one-on-one.
First and foremost, financial aid. I didn't understand how any of it worked, and Melanie, one of my the campus coordinator, she actually showed me everything that I needed to know.
It makes you feel like you're not alone. Like, don't go through it alone. There's always somebody in your corner with you.
We're looking for the students to grow academically. We're looking for the students to grow professionally and the students to also grow personally throughout this program.
1 Million Degrees are also not only work with you, but they'll work for you in a way. If you mention something in a conversation, they'll bring it up in a session, they'll talk to someone, they'll reach out to someone for you and give you information that you didn't even know you needed.
What I need is very different from what somebody else needs, and they fill that gap. They support you financially, emotionally, psychologically. This is something that's needed and vital to you, your health and your well-being. And you're not going to be the same person going in that you are coming out.
So in January of 2018, I attended the Take Flight event. I had no idea what to expect. Graduated in 2017, couldn't find a job. I was job hunting maybe for like 6 to 8 months. I came to the event. I met with Catherine from BMO Harris Bank, and she asked for my resume. I handed her one, and the very next day I got a call from a manager at BMO Harris, and here I am. I was job searching for 6 to 8 months, and then I just kind of got to the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna be a bum. Like, it's just not working for me. And I didn't realize how hard it was to find a job. Like, you hear people talk about it, and it's just kind of like, no, you fill out an application, like, you'll be fine. You know, you just call, you stay on it. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be. So CHA was a blessing.
At the 2018 program, Kiera Russell, we met her here. Ironically, late in the process, late in the day, which led to the beginning of a process of her finding a full-time job. That is just a fantastic happening that worked out. She's been with us, I think, about 10 months now and doing very, very well. So hopefully she'll be with us for a long time.
It's exactly what I wanted to do, dealing with people. I like to help people. I like banking. I got my degree in business administration. So it's exactly where I wanted to be. So I love it.
Today is Take Flight Staying the Course, which is our midwinter check-in with our current CHA college students and recent graduates. We position this event specifically in January so that we can touch base with our students before they head back to school for spring semester, or also check in with those grads from May who may not have landed a job in their field just yet.
Events like this are super important for the community because they give kids a chance to not only meet companies but make potential connections that otherwise they would be going without. I think one of the things that most college students don't realize is the importance of networking and of making those connections.
Attending an event like this is awesome because not only they bring different companies from different statutes, but they bring companies that you never heard of before here to meet with you, take time out their busy schedule to meet with us, to give us internships, and to give us more money in our pockets to pay for schooling and things we need in the future.
I think part of the goal should be that you walk out a little bit more exposed, a little bit more smarter about what's out there in the marketplace. We're banking, but as I look around, there's other industries and other opportunities. And you know, when you're young, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know a lot about some of these career paths, but if they can take the time, engage in what should be a pretty friendly base of employers here, I think they can learn about some different paths they might want to consider.
The networking went well, mainly because since I'm a senior at my university, I've been applying for jobs already. So coming here and already having applied for one of the Blue Cross Blue Shield positions, it was very refreshing to meet them here today.
For us, it's really the next level of the work we do. Making this last connection for them is something that no school does. And so it's really important for us as a housing partner to extend our network to our students and make sure that they're aware that we support them from the day they start school, past graduation, into their first job.
As I see the struggles that students just like myself go through trying to find these opportunities, and so I think noticing that struggle but then coming here to see that the opportunities are available is what really just shook me today. So yeah, I'm leaving with that still on my heart.
So today, on a cold, wintry, very snowy Saturday, we are having our annual Youth Summit in partnership with the Chicago Housing Authority. We've done this annual Youth Summit engaging young people who live in public housing to get together from all across the city in one spot downtown and to really get trained on how they can identify issues that are important to them and how to take action.
So I've had the pleasure to sit in with a few workshops. So the kids are doing breakout sessions where they're having engaging conversations, talking about what's going on in the community. They are doing skill building exercises. The workshops consist of talking about what's in their neighborhood, getting to know one another.
I want them to take away that there is people out there that actually care about them and that want to see them be successful in life and have all the things that they need in life in order to get to the success they want to get. That they don't have to struggle. They can come and get help.
Today what's happening is just basically a call of kids from different communities, just coming in, just expressing the way they feel about what's going on in their community. As of right now, this is the fair, the resource fair, just get them the resources that they need to succeed basically in their community.
To leave today's event understanding that they have the skills, they have the energy, and they have the resources within them. We're going to bring it out of them, and they can hopefully move forward really approaching situations and approaching problems in a different way.
So today we're at the 35th Chicago Housing Authority Senior Gala here at the Hyatt Regency. We have 1,800 seniors coming from across all over the city of Chicago. We've got Oak Street Health here that's actually doing photo booths. It's been really fun for them to do that. They get pictures with their friends, and also they get to go ahead and enjoy entertainment.
All you have to do is stick that camera through that door and see them seniors out there dancing. You heard them laughing with Mr. Wallace while he was talking and telling his jokes. Man, let me tell you, the energy is just great.
I like everything, the entertainment, the enjoyment. See, I'm just a new senior, so I'm trying to fit in. I love it. I said I made it.
So this is a great opportunity to reach out to the seniors, let them know about services that are available within the city. A lot of times people just don't know that things are available and how to access them, so this is a great opportunity.
It's the north side here in the room today. It means everything to them. When this comes along, it gets them up, have them moving. They appreciate coming out. It's just everything to them.
And as time go on and years go on, we live, we're going to keep coming back again, and again.
I think coming here today, folks get to learn about how to improve their properties, financing options, working with the CHA, making sure that they get rents that are market rents, and recognizing that renting from HCB doesn't mean that they're going to get less money, and we're easier to work with.
I came today because, well, I'm always impressed with the quality of the sessions. For example, this morning I went to something on locks and doors, and it's incredible, all the details and all the new information that people are interested in learning that we never knew before.
You know, in terms of learning, it's all about resources. For this particular event, your resources are actually right in front of you, and that's what I love. It's more or less like one-stop shop.
These are very important because you get to meet people that actually are gonna, be the ones that are gonna provide you the jobs that we need to do. It really is good marketing, good to meet people. The networking is real well. We found that typically, we do our best when we come to these kind of events.
It's about expanding
what we do. It's about expanding opportunities not only for our participants, our families, but also for our owners and people that are not in the program.
So they bring them here today and have all the different trade associations here and so forth to provide that information. This bodes well with what we're trying to do in this city, to be a partner, not being an outsider. That's why it's so important. It seems like every year it grows and grows.
It's all about improving the city and making sure that Chicago is one of the best cities in the world. We want to have strong communities throughout the entire city so people can feel safe, they can have wonderful housing, they can feel like they are a part of a world-class city no matter which neighborhood they live in.
This year, our 11th anniversary of our CHA Operation Warm event, we've got 9,000 brand new winter coats that we're giving away to CHA kids who live throughout the city. We also have a service fair with 30 organizations, all sorts of awesome resources. We've got PepsiCo here with their bags of grocery products. First Book is back with 12,000 books. Every single kid will be able to pick out 4 books. We've got Walgreens providing free flu shots. CETA has light energy kits. ComEd, they have energy kits. Chicago Public Library is here. There's something for everyone.
What's happened here, this is the largest event, one single event of the year. It started here, I guess, about 11 years ago or so, and we've done this with housing authorities, tried to do it with housing authorities around the country. Now, you got something very special here. This is heartwarming. What's more important than helping another soul?
We didn't coat today.
Did you get your coat? And what do you think?
It's pretty good. It's blue, and I like it because my favorite color is blue.
It's very well organized. Everyone has been helpful. It's such a lively environment, whether the participants or the organization, it's done very well. You're not treated like a number. You come in, they're smiling, they're helpful. It's very well done.
When we come to events like this, it's very heartwarming and warming to come and get some coats. Because like she said, it's very cold. Just the music and stuff is very nice and well organized.
Yeah, I needed a coat because I only have small coats, so they gave me a big coat and I'm happy for it. It's fun, it's like music and everyone's happy here. It's fun.
We believe in giving children brand new coats, and the reason we do that is when a child gets a brand new coat, they know that somebody cares about them, that they're worth a brand new coat. They feel like $1 million, they have greater self-confidence, and they've got the warmth to get to school on a cold winter day.
The SOAR program is a 2-year demonstration from HUD. It's a grant-funded program giving us the opportunity to reach up to 750 CHA youth with one-on-one college support. It's a really big deal for us. At CHA, we have a variety of education supports, but the opportunity to add in college counseling and one-on-one support for our youth is going to be a game changer.
Tiffany is my navigator, and she's helped me a whole lot because at my school we only have one counselor, so it's like I have better access because I have individual one-on-one help versus having to compete with other people to get my counselor's attention.
Having a navigator is such a huge difference because I didn't really have nobody before. So Symphony, she's an amazing person. She helped me pretty much do college applications because I'm older, I'm 20, so she's helping me get into college. I've never been to college before, and she helped me apply for scholarships and stuff like that.
It's a big thing, like a chance for us to do things, like to see how it is to go around not being in high school and the classes, and it prepared me because it showed me like certain things that I would need to bring, and how much you will be on your feet just to walk around, traveling just to get to classes.
Actually, majority of our students are first generation college students, and because of that, they may not have had someone, or they don't have someone in their family that may have gone to college. And so for us, it gives us opportunity to really work with them and make sure that they have access to the same resources as other students who may have had someone in their family go to college.
So we've had our education navigators working in our different communities. The things that are really working are our college tours, just those one-on-one sessions. We're getting the FAFSA done, we're getting those college applications done. Sitting down with students one-on-one and really connecting around those applications has been really key.
Because it helps a lot, especially with education. Whether you are in 8th grade, they got 8th graders viewing colleges, and when I was in 8th grade, I wasn't looking at colleges, I was barely looking at high schools.
It opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't know. It made me want to explore my options for college.
Get into the SOAR program because not only does it help you connect with colleges and schools and stuff, you get a mentor, you get help, you get to see more.
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel supported. Like even more like it's support, but like to know somebody that's in your corner 100% and always willing to help you and go out their way to do anything so you can be successful. It's amazing. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, today's event was to do outreach to residents that reside on the South Side, to connect them with companies and employers.
We're able to connect with candidates individually and talk about their skills and their desires for a job.
It helped me improve a lot because I learned different things from different people that I'm talking to them. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to carry that with me into my next job opportunity.
We are here to ensure that our residents are aware of the Section 3 field office where we're located and the services that we provide.
All the vendors are here, and what's so great about it, all of them are hiring. So we have someone here for everyone that fits everyone's needs. It's so important that our folks that want to work get an opportunity to get a chance to work.
Today I'm back. And today I got a full-time job. I'm not no part-time worker.
Well, so far this event has been helping me out. I feel confident today. The job opportunities are great. It's a great blessing. As many doors are opening for me. I'm looking forward to it.
So today we held our 8th annual Take Flight College reception, celebrating this year 175 CHA residents heading off to colleges across the country.
It's so good to be surrounded by other young people who are doing the same things, who have the same inspiration. And it might be different when you get down there. It's just good to be around that same motivation, the same people who are going through the same thing as you.
It's a good event. Like, I listened to the speakers, and their advice was great.
Run your own race. Don't worry about what the person on the left of you is doing or what the right of you is doing, because when you look to the left or you look to the right, you lose your own momentum.
Take advantage of all of your resources that are given to you. Colleges all have resource centers. They're here to help you.
There will be times where doubt will attempt to fool you into thinking that you are not incredible. Please maintain the idea that whatever school, room, stage, or table you find yourself at, you deserve to be there.
I'm just really happy, honestly. I got some laundry detergent, covers, sheets, whatever, lamp, pencils, paper, notebook, just basically everything that I need to be successful in school.
And these things will really come in handy when it's the end of the semester and I'm hungry, or I need some school supplies, and it's just good to get it at no cost instead of struggling when I get down to college.
College is such an important step in your life, and we are working in partnership to make sure that you are successful.
You always have a home here at the Chicago Housing Authority. It is at CHA where I received my first summer internship that opened doors for me moving forward to intern in Washington and even with the phenomenal Angela Rye. And it was at CHA where I gained an everlasting mentor who is always there for me whenever I need her for anything. And even my younger sister is here today, about to enter college with you all. So when I say CHA comes full circle and helping us, I mean it.
Part of the CHA's ongoing capital improvement program. This project is replacing old inefficient heating systems by introducing a fan coil unit, so a forced air unit into each apartment. What we really need to do is make sure their basic building systems are constantly working so our residents have a nice place to live.
The complaint for a long time has been excessive heat, too much heat. And the whole idea is to increase the comfort level that residents have. You know, the impact, I think, has been positive. And I do speak to a lot of our residents, so the impact is actually positive.
The quality of life living in CHA, first of all, to me is 100%. I'm very happy with the unit. I'm very happy with the way it was installed. The quality of my life has definitely improved. In the actual being able to say, I'm too hot and can turn it down. I'm too cold, can turn it up. Yes, I'm extremely happy that I can control my own heat.
It's a very steady heat. It's a good heat. I don't have any complaints at all with it. It is a step forward, a big step forward. You either shut it off or put it on and set your temperature and that's it, and it stays right there.
I just feel better, you know, knowing that this new unit is in the building. They showed me respect when they came in here and just tried to modify and improve my unit.
So part of any CHA contract for construction, we have a requirement for Section 3 hires. So we hired residents, seniors at every single building to help us coordinate that work to go on.
Miss Angie came by, you know, she was walking down the hall and she came to me and said, Miss Shirley, how do you like to work? I said, of course I do. And I went to shouting and I just went to jumping up, but I'm glad I got the job.
So these new fan coil units that are in every single apartment are really going to improve the indoor air quality. You're still going to feel a definite sense of coolness, of less humidity in your apartment.
It have helped me so much. I don't sweat at night. I don't have to have the windows up. I'm very happy, very happy.
I'm learning how to work with a camera. Just because you're holding it like this doesn't mean like you're steady and still. Like I'm learning how lighting works and learning how sound works and how you need what's for people and how you might need like interviews and copyrights to things.
Documentary is serious. This is something that can take you somewhere in life that you don't have to just feel like you have to apply for a regular job. You can actually have a talent, a skill that you can look forward to doing.
I like designing, like I like actually like coming up with concept art and whatnot for the whole thing. Like action A leads to action B, but action B could split up and become C and D.
When you play games, you have cheat codes, and those are kind of easy to put in, but the coding behind the gaming system is completely like difficult. You have to do certain things. I didn't expect to learn how to code things.
You come here and you pretty much throw yourself into a world that you've never experienced before. You create characters, you become your characters, you learn how to speak through your characters, through your words, through your actions.
I've never been this descriptive, you know, and they taught me how to be descriptive with the characters and how old they are, what they look like, are they important? And that's fun. That's fun to do.
It's helping me because I'm learning a lot about my government. See, I want to be a forensic scientist when I get older, and I feel like this helps me become better.
When you first hear about it, you're gonna be like, nah, learn and earn, really. But then when you really like come here, it's really not gonna be like school, because you're gonna meet people that's gonna feel the same way, and y'all gonna wind up being so close.
Whenever you are passionate about something and you have that opportunity to finally do it and get paid for it at that, it's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling because you just can't beat it.
Shed Aquarium is bringing out fish from our local waterways. We are peeling back our local waters to show Chicagoans the other Chicagoans. Well, this idea actually came from the community, and they said, wow, with your new mission, it'd be great if you could have like an ice cream truck that traveled around and showed people fish. We can't see in our water, we don't know what the fish look like. And so we were like, wow, that's really interesting. So I brought it back to our team of aquarists and our facilities people and said, can we make this happen? And this is what we came up with.
It's like a puzzle, like you gotta like dig the stuff out like the sand and put it on like the thing like where it goes on the paper.
To see something like this is great. It's great. We need more of this. It's wonderful to see the kids with the jumping jam and the kids having fun.
And so we want the opportunity to have the kids be proud of where they live and where they come from. So we want to bring something out here to give them a sense of pride, a sense of ownership, and let them know that regardless of what the outside talk about, Argyle is a great community, and they should be proud of where they live.
This is my house.
this is my house. When I hadn't even walked through the front door. And it's like a feeling that come over you, like this is where you belong. This is where you need to be. And when I walked through the door and I seen it, I'm like, tears. And I'm like, this is actually where we need to be.
The Mobility Counseling Program is for HCV voucher holders. It's a program to introduce families to different neighborhoods in the city of Chicago. We assist families in finding units in these different neighborhoods in the city of Chicago, neighborhoods that will provide them a sense of safety, new schools, overall better amenities, and better stability and quality of life.
This opportunity was amazing. I mean, it was a struggle at the beginning because I don't want to move. You had that mindset, I don't want to move. I don't want to go there. These people are not going to like me, and I'm in the wrong area. No, this is the right area.
I think most families are fearful when they go into what is unfamiliar to them, but when they get there, they realize that there is more diversity, and there is one common goal between families, and that is raising children in a safer neighborhood.
It's peaceful. Kids running up and down the street, and people sitting on their porch enjoying the weather. Activities now like at the park, baseball and track.
Finance and Audit Committee.
Committee members just finished the meeting in closed session, and we're now ready to start the business portion of the Finance and Audit Committee meeting. Lee, may we have a roll call to establish a quorum, please?
Here.
Yeah. Here. Thank you, Lee. Let the record reflect that Chairman Hooker and Commissioners Brewer, Harris, Batanki, and Parker are also in attendance. At this time, excuse me. Speakers are reminded to register at the sign-in desk to address the committee. Registration will continue for the next 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes have expired, the Secretary will not accept any more cards. Comments from the audience will be entertained after presentation by staff and discussion by commissioners. Items will be voted upon after public participation. Your comments must be related to the item listed on today's Finance and Audit Committee agenda. Each speaker will be given 2 minutes to address the committee. You will be advised when 30 seconds remain and when your time is up. As a reminder, personal attacks and abusive language leveled at commissioners, staff, residents, or other individuals will not be tolerated. Individuals who are disruptive during the meeting will be given a warning and will, if necessary, be removed from the meeting. The first voting matter today is the minutes from the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of May 21st, 2019. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed votes, abstentions, or recusals? Hearing none, the motion carries, and the May 21st meeting minutes are approved as submitted. We have 2 items for consideration by the Finance and Audit Committee. We'll start with item number 1, authorization to extend the BMO Harris Bank line of credit facility for an additional period not to exceed 60 months, amend the facility to an aggregate amount of $25 million, and approve the use of the facility to invest an amount not to exceed $5.25 million related to for-sale townhome component of Parkside 4 Phase 2 development. Mike Gorgoni, Chief Investment Officer, will present this item. Michael?
Good morning, Commissioners. We're asking your authorization on a twofold basis here. Number one is to extend the BMO Harris Bank line of credit facility, which was last approved in 2016, for an additional period not to exceed 60 months. Additionally, we are going to reduce this facility from $50 million down to $25 million as a kind of a capacity reduction, as well as a 50% savings of commitment fees. And then also, with respect to that unsecured facility, would be to approve the use of an amount not to exceed $5.25 million in a joint venture partnership related to the for-sale townhome components of the Parkside 4 Phase 2 development, and also execute any necessary documents to implement the foregoing. Would there be any questions on those items, Commissioners?
So the for sale, is that number reduced? Is we still at 56? What's the number?
Right, okay, so what we had originally, the original plan was 56. We are saying approximately 56 because it may be subject to 1 or 2 movement based upon the final fiscal lending considerations of the bank and the developer.
So that's the only change?
It's possible to change. If there's any material, like large variance, we would be coming back and advising the board of the same. But I do not at this time anticipate anything more than maybe 1 or 2, kind of.
All right, thank you.
Commissioners, are there any other questions? Okay, thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Moving on to item number 1A, recommendation to accept and submit to HUD the CHA Single Audit Report, Financial Statement Audit, and Comprehensive Annual Financial Report for the year ended December 31st, 2018. Commissioners discussed this item in closed session. Alan Fawcett, Director of Audit Management and Compliance, will give us an overview of item 1A. Alan?
Yes, good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
This morning, our external auditors, E&Y, presented you with the overview of their results of the 2018 audits. Mike Moran and myself are here if you have any further questions on the presentation to accept and submit these items to HUD. Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions? No questions, I should say. I'd like to commend you, Alan, and the seniors leadership staff for the improvements you made over the last year in submitting this unqualified opinion. So kudos to you and your staff, and to Gene and his staff.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Apparently, we have no public participation requests at this time. So since we have no speakers, and on behalf of the Finance and Audit Committee members, thank you for your, anyway. Commissioners, you have heard the comments and you've heard the presentations. Are there any further discussions on items number 1 and 1A? Hearing none, I'd like to present an omnibus motion for the approval of items 1 and 1A. Is there a second?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed votes, abstentions, or recusals? Hearing none, items 1 and 1A are approved by unanimous vote. Since there is no further business to discuss, I will make a motion to adjourn this meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Are there any nays? Hearing none, the July 16th Finance and Audit Committee meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the July 16th Tenant Services Committee meeting. My name is Megan Hart and I'm the chair of the Tenant Services Committee. I would like to call today's meeting to order. The board secretary will call the roll to establish a quorum.
Here.
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 Here. Thank you, Lee. Let the record reflect that Chairman Hooker and Commissioners Chico, Matanki, and Matos are also in attendance. At this time, speakers are reminded to register at the sign-in desk to address the committee. Registration will continue for the next 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes have expired, the secretary will not accept any more cards. As a reminder, comments from the audience will be entertained at the conclusion of staff's presentation and discussion by commissioners on the item listed on the agenda. The first voting matter today is the minutes for the Tenant Services Committee meetings of May 21st, 2019. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed votes, abstentions, or recusals? Hearing none, the motion carries and the May 21st, 2019 minutes are approved as submitted. We have one item for consideration today, and this item will be presented by Mary Howard, Chief Resident Services Officer. Item number 2 reads as follows. Recommendation to award a contract for mobility services. Recommended awardee, HCP of Illinois, in an aggregate not to exceed amount of $6,955,894 for a 2-year base term and 3 one-year options. Mary?
Good morning, Commissioners, and
Good morning.
thank you. This item is to seek your approval to enter into a mobility counseling program contract with HCP of Illinois. The mobility counseling program provides coaching and education for our HCB households who are interested in moving to opportunity areas, or as we define it in the HCB program as mobility areas, which we define to be areas that are accessible to transportation, employment, good schools, and areas that have improved safety. HCP would be working with 400 households annually who are interested in moving to mobility areas, targeting those with school-aged children, as we've seen that doing so actually it has a better trajectory of improving the lives of kids that we have seen that go through this program. And I'm able to answer any additional questions that anyone might have.
I have a question. Sounds like a great service and obviously a need. How do we measure the success of the counseling services?
That's a great question, and thank you for asking it. So we do so in a couple of ways. One is that we look at retention in mobility areas, and compare it to the HCV population that may move into defined areas of opportunity or mobility, and we take a look at their retention. What we do know is that families who have gone through the counseling program actually stay in mobility areas longer than those who haven't received counseling. The second thing that we do look at is through our membership with the Chapin Hall Collaborative, we actually filter out kids who live in mobility areas versus not to take a look at how school performance is. And what we do know is that kids that go to schools that are in mobility areas actually have higher attendance rate than those that don't. Finally, what we take a look at is employment. So we recently took a slice of households, what their income was 2 years before they moved into a mobility area, and then looked at it immediately following moving into a mobility area, and it improves for everybody. But for those that go through the counseling program, there's actually a greater increase from when they previously lived in a non-mobility area. So we kind of see these things as being really important kind of supports for the family after they move.
How do we select the families, the 400 families?
So families self-select. This is a voluntary program. So families who are coming off the wait list learn about our mobility counseling program along with other programs in their orientation in the Housing Choice Voucher Program. So we may get folks that are just getting their voucher, but oftentimes it's what we term as second or third movers. It's people that are in the program, they're coming up for recertification, and they decide that they're interested in learning about moving into a different part of the city, and so they may be interested in that way.
Is there a cap at 400?
No. 400 is around the right number. It would be capped based on the contract award amount. So if we see that there is greater interest, that might be something that we would take a look at whether or not we needed to expand the program and come here. But it is capped right now based on the financials that we put forth.
And what was
Commissioner,
our,
I'm sorry, I think Francine had a question. Did you want to ask Francine?
Yes. When I had my briefing, I was confused, and you just said, I was talking about mobility in certain areas. You just used mobility with opportunity, but I had to look them up now to understand. Opportunity area and mobility area is different, two different things, just like mixed income, mixed finance. Now I know the difference, and we have more opportunities in mobility areas than we do opportunity areas.
That's absolutely right, Commissioner. So just to further clarify for the board and for the audience, that for the up until February of 2018, we were all using what was defined as opportunity areas. We had in the HCV program taken a look at, is that definition make sense for families that want to move elsewhere, and so we split the definition. And so in the mobility counseling program, we define it as mobility areas.
Which is better than opportunity areas.
Which does enable us to expand the areas of the city, mostly because we are looking at community areas and all of the attributes that go into a community versus an opportunity area, which only looks at a census tract data. So it expands the areas that qualify.
Commissioner Parker?
Yeah, so again, as far as 400 is like only like, what, 2-3% of the 40,000 Section 8 tenants that's out there, or mixed in with public housing. I mean, we talked about this already, that I know 400 is an okay number, but it's really not okay when you're dealing with 65,000 tenants. And so my thing is that the program should like reach out more. I know that you said that, I know for a fact that it's a voluntary program, so I always felt that this program should actually find communities that residents normally couldn't live in and identify housing in those areas, because a lot of times our people do this on their own. If I live in an opportunity area, that's because I sought the opportunity area, not because nobody came that we paid to tell me that. I want to move into a better area for my kids. So I'm asking that maybe next year, or we should kind of tweak the program in terms of have the mobility partners to actually identify areas that's free of violence so that our kids can have an opportunity to grow up in better environments. I like what you told us in the briefing, that they do come to the briefings, they do talk to the Section 8 tenants, the new voucher holders, and they have convinced a lot of folks to not go in a crime-infested area, try to seek out other areas, and so I just want them to do more, and I want to see those numbers increase. So if 500 people come, they're gonna turn down the next,
No, we wouldn't turn down anyone.
right, so they're not turning people away.
We would work with that, and if necessary, come back to you.
So they help with the security deposit, so I mean, what's the real benefit, besides them moving in the opportunity area, what is the offer?
Sure. So what I think lift up is that coaching a household on what the opportunities are of moving to different areas of the city is really the cornerstone. And you are absolutely right that not everybody who lives in a mobility area has done so through counseling. But for some families, and for families who have participated, getting that assistance has been quite meaningful for them, right? So not everyone needs it. There are plenty of people that move into mobility areas or opportunity areas on their own, but there are families who struggle and really aren't sure of what the steps are, or how to navigate that, or how to present themselves to a landlord who they think might discriminate against them. And so the counselors on staff really help try to navigate and work with our families on that. There is a financial support for participants that enter the program, and it's $500 that can be used for move-in fee, for security deposit. But as we all know, that doesn't cover what a typical security deposit is. So even though we have it in there and it's meaningful for the families that participate, in no way, I think, is that the driver. I think that the driver is for people that want to move into different areas of the city where they feel that they've always been excluded, that the counseling aspect or the coaching aspect, the education, is really the driver and what helps some families choose to do that.
And I just wanted to know, how are they adhering to the Section 3 component? Are they hiring residents?
Right, so every one of our contractors, as you know, must comply with compliance. And so our Department of Procurement and Contracts ensures that both MBE, WBE, DBE compliance is met, as well as Section 3.
I'm talking about hires. So we got any residents working in this program? That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
What percent? I mean,
So of any new hire in a contract, they're required to hire 30% of new hires. So they may have met that already. I actually do not know right now whether or not they have new hires, since there are incumbent, but I guarantee you that if there is a job opening, they would be going through the Section 3 portal.
I'm sorry, Megan, but I was just saying that according to this pie chart, 80% of their budget is for staff and salary, and I just want to make sure those staff folks is our folks, and it don't matter if they old, new.
Yep.
So could you get back to me on how many residents do we actually have working this program?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I can.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any other questions, commissioners? Commissioner Harris? No, we're going to hit your button.
Testing.
There we go.
Families who have children who move into the mobility areas, that those students have excellent attendance rates. Is that what you said?
Yes, I did say that. So
Okay. The reason I'm asking that is because that is one of the problems that we have in the Chicago Public Schools. The attendance has been very low, and we're trying to get our want more children to attend schools. A lot of children are dropping out. And so if our families, the children of our families have children who have good attendance, then I think that's a study that should be kind of continued so that we can kind of look at that to see how we might be able to glean from what's going on with those children, with the children who need to be in school, and can see the plan, the program that we're utilizing, so that that could be something that could be kind of studied.
Absolutely, and we do that. And while I offer that statistical fact for this counseling program, looking at all of our kids is something that's very important to us, regardless of where they live. And that's something that we do work with Chapin Hall Collaborative on, is looking at issues of truancy and attendance and school performance for all of our kids.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Commissioners? Thank you, Mary. We will now start public participation. Registration is closed. Lois will let you know when you have 30 seconds remaining and when your time is up. Our first registered speaker is Rashawn Granberry. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Say good morning. I would like to say the mobility program helped us a very lot. I don't know where I'd be without it.
Speaking to the mic and speak up.
Okay. I would like to say I don't know where I'll be without the mobility program. It helps my daughter a lot. Like, she go to South Loop now. We stayed over East, and it was rough over East. And mobility program changed my life. We downtown now. She go to South Loop, getting better grades. The kids interact better. They're not as violent, and it's just, without the mobility program, I don't know where I'd be right now. I thank God for my counselor, Miss Mobley, and I really appreciate you guys. So.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And what is her name? What is your daughter's?
Naria.
You're cute.
Nari, you like your new school? Better than your old?
Yes.
Cool.
What grade are you in?
I'm going to 6th.
Wow.
Tell me what you get on your grades. What your grades look like.
I had 3 B's and all A's.
Yeah.
Keep
Thank
up the
you.
good work.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you guys. God bless you all.
Our next speaker is Bobby Stewart. Is Bobby here? She's coming? Okay. Mike, are we just gonna address
you have
the?
a mic for her?
Oh, here he comes. We're bringing a mic up for you.
You got a mic?
He's coming right there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Bobby Stewart. I'm here on behalf of the Mobility Program. I'm honored to be honored, and Miss Odigi has been just wonderful with myself and my grandson. So I just want to say continue with it, please, because we need it very much.
Oh, cool.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Alyssa Mobley. Is it Alyssa? There's no.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Elisa Mobley. I am a Housing Choice Voucher participant as well as employee for Housing Choice Partners. Through the program, I learned of the opportunity areas last year or 2 years ago when I came through to try and find housing. I couldn't find anything in a mobility area. I really didn't understand the dynamics of it. And then when the counselors did explain it to me, I got a new job in a hurry, trying to move. So I took a traditional unit. Coming through the mobility program on this year, I located a unit. I've always wanted a house. So to find something in a mobility area to rent made the biggest difference in my life. I have an 18-year-old son who was homebound. And when I say homebound, he's a gamer. So he wanted to stay in the house. Now that we're in Ashburn, it's a much better atmosphere. There's silence. I don't hear gunshots. I was living on Lakeshore Drive, 74th and South Shore, the worst area to me at that time. But I stayed there to maintain my sanity, but yet to keep my son at peace. We stayed inside then. Now we're in Ashburn. It's a lot better. My son is active now. He's came out of school now with honors. So it makes a difference, not just as an employee, but as a participant. Okay? Thank you all.
Thank you. Our last speaker is Pamela Pennington. Good morning.
Hello. So, my name is Pamela Pennington. So, I work for Housing Choice Partners, but I'm also a participant as well. I really appreciate the mobility program for numerous of reasons. I lived in the heart of the West Side, and I don't know if anybody is familiar, but you know, you have dope dealers on the side of the street. You know, you drive down the street, and they're asking you, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that? So it was very difficult. So when I came to the mobility program, it allowed me to see a different universe. It allowed my son to see a different universe. And that I really appreciate, because now I don't have to worry about myself or my son being in danger as much. And don't get me wrong, I know you have to worry about crime everywhere, but it's a difference. Because where I live now, my neighbors introduce themselves to me. I have a Russian lady that lives next door to me. Her name is Sasha. I have an Asian family on the side of me. Their name is Mary Lou and Rondell. I have a Muslim family across the street from me. Her name is Hiram. I have a lady that's been there over 40 years. Her name is Linda. So I know just about everyone on my block, where before I didn't know anyone. When it snowed, they came and helped me, and my son shoveled my snow. So I appreciate the mobility for giving me the opportunity to live in a diverse area where I'm not worried and I can sleep at night.
Where
So
did you
for
move
them,
to? Where did you move to?
I live in Jefferson Park. So it means a world of difference to me, because I feel safe, I feel comfortable, I have peace. So for the mobility program, I just want to say thank you guys.
Thank you. Since that was our last registered speaker, on behalf of the Tenant Service Committee members, thank you for your comments. Commissioners, you've heard the comments from the public. Is there any further discussion on item number 2?
I got just one further comment, if I could.
Can you push your button? No?
I just had one further comment. Me, myself, too, sitting here as a commissioner, I'm an HCV resident, and I live in Ashburn, and so I'm just proud of what you guys is doing. Just keep up the good work, stay in your mobility areas, and try to encourage more friends to do the same. Thanks for coming out to speak to us on behalf of this program.
Thanks, Commissioner Parker. Hearing no other comments, I would like to make a motion for the approval of item number 2. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed votes, abstentions, or recusals? Hearing none, the motion carries and the resolution for item number 2 is approved. Since there is no further business to discuss, I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any nays? Hearing none, the July 16th Tenant Services Committee meeting is now adjourned.
Good morning. With that, we're going to start the July 16th Real Estate Operations Development Committee meeting. I'm Matt Brewer. I'm the chairman of the committee. We'll start by establishing that we have a quorum.
Here.
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 Here. Thank you, Lee. Let the record reflect that present but not counted toward the quorum are Chairman Hooker, Commissioners Hart, Parker, and Washington. Brief reminder, speakers are required to register at the sign-in desk to address the committee. Registration will continue for the next 5 minutes. After 5 minutes have expired, we cannot accept any more registration cards. Comments from the audience will be entertained after presentation and discussion by the staff and commissioners. Your items must be directly related to the items that we address here in this committee. You'll have 2 minutes to address the committee. The first voting matter for today is the minutes from the Real Estate Operations Development Committee meeting of May 21st, 2019. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays, recusals, or abstentions? Hearing none, the motion carries, and the May 21st minutes are approved as submitted. We have 4 items for consideration today. As is our normal practice, comments from the audience will be entertained at the end. We'll start with item number 3, which reads, recommendation to execute housing assistance payment contracts for Diversity Manor and 5751 South Michigan Apartments, and housing assistance payments amendment for 5801 South Michigan Apartments. This item will be presented by Derek Messier, our Chief Property Officer. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Derek.
Before you today is a recommendation to execute housing assistance payment contracts for 3 properties. The first is Diversity Manor, which has 50 project-based voucher units in the Logan Square community, and the term of that agreement is for 30 years. The next 2 properties are near one another, 5751 and 5801 South Michigan Avenue. They're managed by the same company and owned by the same owner. They're for 11 and 23 units respectively in the Washington Park community for terms of 15 years each. All of these units have been inspected in June of 2019, and all the buildings are free of City of Chicago building code violations. I'm here to answer any questions or concerns you may have.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the commissioners? None. Okay. The next 3, thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Commissioners.
The next 3 items will be presented by Ann McKenzie, our Chief Development Officer. We'll start with item number 4, which reads, ratification of the formation of Ravenswood Senior Housing LLC and authorization to serve as a member of Ravenwood Senior Living GP LLC.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm here today to present on the Ravenswood Senior Living Facility. This might sound familiar because it's come to you before. I came to you, or my predecessor came to you in May of 2017 for authority to use RAD, Transfer of Assistance, for this facility. It's a senior facility. It will have 74 independent living units in the old Ravenswood Hospital on the north side. So in May of 2017, we received your permission to enter it into the RAD program. And also, at that time, we asked for authority for the loan. At this time, I am just asking for your authority for the CHA to participate in the ownership. Since about a year ago, we've been talking about how the Chicago Housing Authority can be in the ownership of some of these transactions, not just a lender. So this is an opportunity for the Chicago Housing Authority through an LLC, which would be Ravenswood Senior Housing LLC, to be 10% of the general partner. Do you have any questions about this matter?
Do you have any questions from the commissioners? Go ahead, Commissioner Washington.
Let me be nice. This is nice, and the building's going up. It's going to be nice. It's being built from the ground up. But I'm really getting tired of sitting at this table and everything is going north. Nothing is going south of Lake Street. The south side has been abandoned. It's deserted. Ain't nothing happening. We got all that abandoned land. Ain't nobody building up nothing. Nothing starting at Lake Street, south of Lake Street. Nothing's going west. across Ashland. What about us? We always looking out for wards that already have a lot of amenities, have a lot of housing. I'll be glad, and I ain't trying to be funny, but I'm just tired. And sometimes the folks that make decisions for the authority, I think they're very prejudiced because they're always looking out. I'm not prejudiced. Everybody know my father. Some people know my father. He was white, really white. But what about the black folks? Y'all got to do something in our communities. I'm going to say this because I'm just frustrated. I'm all around the city. Nothing is being built in our communities from the ground up nor rehabbed. It's all about the haves and the have-nots that still will forever have not. What about us?
I do appreciate your question, Commissioner.
I don't
didn't
want to
mean
be
interrupt
appreciated.
people.
I want something to be done.
And I do think that this is a good model. This has been done before on the west side. The old St. Anne's Hospital has a similar setup, which was an adaptive reuse of a hospital. That was a long, long time ago. It does still function, and I was actually on the team. But that's not a CHA.
That was 35 years ago.
No,
It's-
that was about
Which
15
hospital?
St. Anne's, about 15 years ago, I was involved with that.
It's in West Garfield Park.
West Humboldt Park.
West Garfield Park.
Really?
Or
And
you're
who-
right, West
and-
Humboldt.
Are there
Over there.
any
No,
more
I'm
questions?
just tired
from-
of it. Find something on the south side, the west side. Build us up something from the ground up. Rehab us something that's nice. Put up some grass or trees. We want to look nice also. I mean, we from the wards that's been filled up. Can't even find no more space.
Thank you, Commissioner Washington.
No, I'm serious. I'm tired of this.
Go ahead.
So my question is, this is land that we obtained or brought? Oh, okay. Is this land that we recently purchased, and I just wanted to know where the tenant's coming from? Is it occupied?
So I just want to make clear, this is not land that the CHA brought. This is land that the developer Evergreen brought. This is the former Ravenswood Hospital. It's an adaptive reuse of a hospital. It's a hospital campus up in Ravenswood, just west of Ashland.
Oh, and so we loaning no money and they housing our tenants? I'm just trying to see how do we get involved?
Yes, we are loaning them money. We will have a long-term commitment, a use agreement recorded against the land, and then we then said, you know, there's been a delay in this, we want to participate in the ownership.
Right, so they gave us 10%, and all the units are CHAs, but CHA tenants?
74 out of.
All 74 are for CHA tenants. There will also be another portion of the building, which is a supportive living facility, which is a Medicaid program that is for low-income seniors who need assistance.
Okay, thank you, Ann.
Thank you. Can you talk about the benefits of CHA ownership in this property?
We feel strongly that especially when it's seniors, we've made commitments to our seniors in our own buildings that we're very involved in the management, and we will continue to be. We think we'll learn about the supportive living facility here, something we have not done. We have not been able to bring that level of services. So this seemed like a great opportunity for us to participate in the ownership. Therefore, we have a place at the table when decisions are being made, even about the supportive living facility.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Did Evergreen have any pushback when we asked for ownership?
No.
Just on the percentage, which is why we ended up with 10%.
I'm glad we have a piece of ownership. It's a wonderful move. Was there a negotiation in terms of the interest rate that we were charging on our loan, or we just said, if you want this money?
There was not on the interest rate. In a tax credit transaction, actually, the interest rate on the loan is often very much determined by the equity investor, so that really didn't change.
So it didn't cost us more to get the
It
interest?
did not cost us anything.
That's great.
May I just say something? I would just like to say that in answer to Commissioner Washington's concern and her frustration in terms of the buildings on the south side, on the east side, that perhaps some of us as commissioners can get together so that we can go deeper into that discussion so that we don't leave here with, let's say, with some questions unanswered. I would hope that we can leave in a spirit of peace and knowing that these things will be addressed and we will come to a conclusion of what we can do to make some things happen. Even Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Harris. If there are no more comments from commissioners, the next item is item number 5, which is an authorization to loan CHA funds not to exceed $14 million for the redevelopment of the site at 2640 to 2720 North Sheffield.
Thank you, Commissioners. Yes, this is another north one. I'm looking forward to presenting on the one after this, which is on the south side. This one is, we're asking for authority for the RAD conversion of the 2 senior buildings, which are commonly known as Spurlock Sampson and Spurlock Sampson Annex. This is a continuation of RAD conversions of all of our senior portfolio. Joel Walton's team has done an incredible job on more than 5,000 units to date, and some of them are needing outside financing. This is one of these. What we are proposing here is a RAD conversion to RAD project-based voucher for the 400 plus units in the 2 senior buildings. I'm saying 400 plus because the opportunity of a central building, which we're proposing, will allow for moving the common area to the central building, therefore adding senior housing. So we'll have 405 senior housing units at the end, and we are proposing to add an 80-unit building, up to 80 units. You know, there's always a little flexibility when you go in for permits, up to 80 units with up to 50 of those for CHA families on the north side. I just want to remind you that in 2018, you did approve a pre-development loan of $2.1 million, so this $14 million is in addition to that. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. Do we have questions from the commissioners?
Yeah.
Commissioner Washington.
So what about the, do we go into any type of ownership? Do we go, oh, this is ours, so we own 100%?
We will be sharing the ownership with Pearl, the development partner who you approved previously, but we will definitely be very much in the ownership. We are not giving up the ownership of the land. There will be a long-term lease to a partnership that the CHA entity, which we are creating another LLC 100% owned by the CHA, is a partner. This is a first for us.
And although it's a heavy need for us to improve on our south side renovations as well as uplifting our communities, which is bigger than the CHA, I'm just commending you for actually being able to mix family housing in the senior area and give more families an opportunity to live in an whole opportunity area.
This one is based on schools and
It's Lincoln
opportunities
Park,
for our
right?
families.
Is this part of Lincoln Park?
This is Lincoln Park High School.
Okay, thank you for that.
Go ahead.
Can I also say this is a wonderful reuse of a dead park? Sorry. This is a wonderful reuse of a dead parking lot in between 2 senior buildings, and we're going to be bringing families into this neighborhood where anybody should want to live. I think it's wonderful.
Commissioner Washington.
And here I go again. That is a nice neighborhood. One of the buildings, Mr. Crosby, the president, the other one is Joe. I visited, but that's nice building, nice area, nice landscaping. We've got land on the south side, the west side. We got land on the west side, been vacant since 87. That's been vacant since 88. We got land on the south side that's been vacant since 2099. No one, and we just got grant. I mean, in 1999. No one is even thinking about building over there. We have a nice building we finna build on. Everything is going north. Everything. We could build from the ground up. Why can't we invest some of that money on the south side to build from the ground up? We in the Hanson neighborhood don't need enhancing, although they got a lot of space between the 2 CHA buildings. I frequent those buildings a lot. We still got a lot of space on the south side. Either this board, care and blind, or either CHA is just prejudice. I'm telling you. I can't help but to feel this way. Do I see some change? I'm always feel this way. I'm gonna make it be known.
So, Ann, could you just try to help find some developers that's willing to spend their dollars on the south side? Because I don't think it's a CHA issue.
It's you know what?
It's the developers.
Well, hold on. This is not the public participation yet. Everyone has a chance to talk.
I just mind comment, because I'm just frustrated. Every time I see this, I get more and more frustrated. Until I get it out, it's good because it's not going to hurt somebody, but not me.
Well, it's an important point you raised, Commissioner Washington, and we do need to think about it more as an authority. And as Commissioner Harris mentioned, we should all sit down and put our heads together about a more robust way to communicate this. But it's not lost at all.
Okay.
If there are no more questions from the commissioners on item number 5, we're going to move to item number 6, which is an authorization to submit a disposition application to HUD for disposition of the Harold Ickes property for Southbridge Phase 1A and Phase 1B project.
It's on the south side.
Thank you, Commissioners. And Commissioner Washington, I really do appreciate what you've said, and I do actually agree. I think you know that. And I do want to make sure that everyone knows that 4400 Grove, which is under construction, is a CHA development, and that we did receive HUD's permission for the Alcub Library. So the Alcub Library has been under construction. We're very excited about that.
We was working on 44th and Grove since 2006, so that's been a done deal. I've been working on that for the last 12 years. So it's just come to fruition. This stuff on Sheffield, I've been working on for 2 years. So 10 years difference in getting something done. Black neighborhood versus white neighborhood. Don't do no comparison on me because I'm frustrated about this.
So the next one is on the south side, Commissioner Washington. I do understand it's not as.
2005 when they vacated that land. So,
Thank
you. 12, 13 years, we talking about 5 buildings, so we really ain't doing nothing.
Hey, Commissioner Washington, just for order, we need to let her finish presenting first.
But I'm frustrated on this land deal in the north side.
So we've been trying to move very quickly forward on the Ickes development. You again, thank you, board. You have already approved of this one. So I apologize I have to come back to the board, but RAD, as you know, is a demonstration program. So HUD pointed out that, well, HUD realized that we need to submit a disposition approval application to HUD for the disposition of the Ickes property to the developer. So we are moving forward to close the Southbridge phases 1A and 1B closing. We hope to close in September and get that under construction. This is simply asking for authorization to submit a disposition application for the long-term lease in order to develop Southbridge so we can redevelop the Ickes property. Do you have any questions about this matter?
Thank you. Any questions from the commissioners on item number 6?
Yes,
I just want to say it's about time because this land been vacant for 12 years.
So, Ed, this 103 units, that's just phase 1. What's the total number that we're gonna complete at Harold Ickes across the, the whole set of phases? What's our proposed number?
Over the 3 phases, there'll be approximately 877. That's an odd approximately that my team member is shaking her head here. So it's over 800 units will come back to the site.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. If there are no other questions from the commissioners on item number 6, I will now move toward the public participation portion of the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have 2 comments. The first is from Brenda Perry. Good morning.
I have to agree with Commissioner Washington. You all have ignored the south side. We've got all that vacant land behind Mariano's that's not being developed. And you have done no new senior housing for seniors in years. You got us 8 years at Lincoln Perry languishing. 8 years, nothing is still finished. Them sprinklers still ain't finished. So give me a break. You're avoiding the law, the city law that says you should have them in there, and they're still not finished all the way. Mosley, yes. You want to live in Mosley? We had 2 fires. One next door that had a sprinkler, minimal damage. Next door in ours, burn up the whole apartment, all the guys' goods, and damage 2 other apartments. Hey, something got to give. I'm looking at Southbridge, and we're only going to get 68 out of phase 1 CHA units compared to the rest. when you compare how many units there'll be and how many are CHA, it works out for what I saw you all authorize them to spend to the tune of $380,000 per unit. Which means we ain't paying for those units for the CHA people. We paying for units for people at fair market value. Let's get real with this and stop lying about caring for blacks moving in mobility around. I'd like to move. I'm a senior. You don't have mobility for me. I got a problem with that. So please, and when I make a comment here, please write what I said and not make me look stupid when I know I didn't say things complicated as what you wrote. And then you not give me an answer. I ask for answers. All you all say is comment, appreciate it. I don't think you appreciate anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next comment is from George Blakemore.
Citizens, black citizens in particular, the games that these white folks play with you. But you are not in the business, CHA, of giving loans to white developers, making them rich. Now, I was listening, you all make a fool out of black people. That's not CHA business to loan a white developer money. That's public housing. The federal government have gotten out of public housing. Now they're going to take that land at the Hickeys or Hickey whatever, and they're going to have mixed housing. They waited, mixed housing, and loaning money. And you on this board is talking too. When you play games with the people, Ms. White, and the other ones, you know exactly that's not right. That's illegal. This is a way of making a fool out of black people. And it goes on because you up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, these black ones. These white folks make a fool out of black people. They are giving millions of dollars to these white developers. Are you giving any of that $1 million to a black developer? No! No! Not one!
30 seconds.
No! Not one, and I'm outraged. I'm outraged. Mixed housing. You leave it vacant, then you come back with market housing, affordable housing, and then you put a few public housing. You're doing nothing but making richer at the expense of poor black people. And the government is signing off on it too. They weren't our friend when they enslaved us over here. And we still on the modern plantation.
Thank you, Mr.
We
Blakemore.
still on the modern plantation.
Thank you. Commissioners, you've heard comments from the public on today's agenda items. Do you have any further questions or comments? With there are no further questions or comments from the commissioners, I'd like to present an omnibus motion for the approval of items 3, 4, 5, and 6. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays, recusals, or abstentions? Hearing none, the motion carries, and items 3 through 6 are approved by unanimous vote. Since there's no further business to discuss, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? Hearing none, the July 16th Real Estate Operations Development Committee is adjourned.
Good morning. Okay, move this. My name is John Hooker, Chairman of CHA Board of Commissioners. On behalf of CHA Board of Commissioners, I would like to welcome you to our 82nd annual board meeting. At this time, I would like to have the I'd like to call the July 16, 2019 board meeting to order. Board Secretary, will you take the roll, please?
Here.
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 Here. Thank you, Lee. Now, as a reminder, please register at the sign-in desk if you need to address the board during the public participation. Each speaker will be given 2 minutes to address the board. Registration will continue for the next 5 minutes. After 5 minutes have expired, the secretary will not accept any more cards. As set forth in our public participation rules, courtesy, respectfulness, civil behavior is expected from all speakers and all persons attending the board committee meeting. I would like to proceed, but now I need the same courtesy that I extended to each and every one of you during your time up here. I did not talk over you, I did not interrupt you, and I did not have folks talking while I was trying to talk. I would ask you to give me the same courtesy that I gave each and every one of you when you were coming up to do what you had to do, to say what you had to say. I will not sit here and talk over folks. We will continue to conduct our meeting in the fashion in which it's supposed to be, and that's added professionalism, concern, compassion, and understanding. I will accept nothing less. Now that's not in my note, that's in my voice. And I would hope not to have to call out any individual on their behavior going forward. Individuals who are disruptive will be given a warning and will, if necessary, be removed from the meeting. If any individual is removed from a meeting as a result of disruptive behavior, the individual may forfeit his or her right to re-enter future board committee meeting. And lastly, please turn off or silence your cell phones while the meeting is in session. Now, at this time, I would like, we will now have our centering thoughts from Commissioner Mildred Harris. Dr. Harris?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to all of you. I'm so happy to see so many people out today, and especially our young people who came in earlier. I just want to say welcome to our meeting. This is the first time I believe that you have been with us, and we're so happy to have you with us. My centering thought today is on commitment. Each month I give whenever we have our meetings, I give a centering thought, and so my theme today is on commitment. Can you say the word commitment?
Commitment.
I want to share this with you, that all of us in this room have made a commitment to be here today. And some of us have been here for many years, and I'm just going to speak to this because I'm the oldest on the board. This is for some of you because you're young and you have careers and visions of what you want to do as you continue your journey in life. It is important for us to all to make a commitment of whatever we become a part of. And commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. It is the words that speak boldly of your intentions and the actions which speak louder than words. See, I want to say that that is so true. When I first became a board member, I said that I will participate and I want to make my attendance commit myself to be a regular member on the board with good attendance. Since I've been on the board for almost 20 years this month, I have never missed an executive board meeting. I'm going to say that again. 20 years. I made a commitment that I would be faithful, loyal, and diligent in whatever I could do as a member of this board. When I come into the room, I see many of you seated in the audience, and many of you have been committed to attend the meetings as well. I want to commend you for that, because you too have gotten up and dressed yourselves to come out to make your requests be made known to us. And I don't take that lightly, and I'm sure I speak for all the board members. We have to really, we listen to you, but yet we understand that we have to take faith with action for that which you bring unto us. So commitment is making time when there seems to be none. Coming through time after time, year after year, that you say, I'm going to do this. I'm committed. You may not understand my commitment because we're all different, and we have different backgrounds and perceptions, and our experiences are different. But one thing we do have in common is that we can make ourselves available. We can be loyal. We can be trustworthy of whatever it is that we commit ourselves to do. So commitment is the stuff character is made of and the power to change the face of things. It is a daily triumph of integrity over skepticism. When you make a commitment, that helps to build your character. Character is so important when making a commitment. The character to say, yes, I want to be a positive force, and I want to help to make whatever I'm a part of better. But that means that you have to make a commitment by taking action to do that. So again, I just want to thank you for listening, and to the board, for those of you who have made a commitment to say, yes, I want to serve the people here of the Chicago Housing Authority. To those of you who are residents of the Chicago Housing Authority, sitting on that side, I'll sit on that side with you, because it means something. We look sometimes to see if you're going to be with us and you show up and you speak up. And I just want to say, keep speaking. We have to learn how to listen to one another and to understand one another, so that when we leave these meetings, that we can be at peace with one another and knowing that we can trust each other because we're committed to give our best for each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Pursuant to our bylaws, at our annual meeting, we elect our officers. Coming up for election today are the position of vice chair and secretary. At this time, it's my pleasure to nominate Commissioner Craig Chico for the position of vice chairman. As chairman, I continue to rely on our commissioners and especially Craig Chico assistance, support, and his leadership as we continue to work together. I will therefore make a motion for Commissioner Chico to continue to fill the position of vice chair. May I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays, recusals, or abstentions? Hearing none, nomination duly made and second, Commissioner Chico is reelected to the position of vice chairman by unanimous vote. Commissioner Chico, do you accept the position of vice chairman, which you are reelected to? Thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so very much. The second position up for election today is the position of secretary. I would like to nominate Lee Chuck Gill and make a motion for Lee to continue to fill the position of secretary. May I have a second, please?
Second, third.
Are there any nays, recusals, or abstentions? Hearing none, the nomination Oh, I'm sorry about that. I skipped one. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Are there any nays, recusals, or abstentions? No. Hearing none, the nomination duly made and second, Lee is re-elected to the position of Board Secretary by unanimous vote. Lee, do you accept the position of Board Secretary to which you are elected?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
Great. Each of the officers so elected are present and accept the offices of which they were elected. Congratulations, Craig and Lee, on your re-election. So moving on to our committee report and voting of resolutions, the first committee report will be presented by Commissioner Chico, Chairman of the Finance and Audit Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Finance and Audit Committee held its regular meeting at 8:30 a.m. today here at the Family Investment Center. I chaired the meeting, and the following committee members were present as well: Commissioners Hart, Matos, and Washington. Present also but not counted for the quorum were Chairman Hooker and Commissioners Brewer, Harris, Matanke, and Parker. The Finance and Audit Committee members then voted to adjourn to closed session to discuss audit reviews and investigatory matters. Finance and Audit Committee members then returned to open session and discussed, voted, and recommended for approval the following items. Item number 1, authorization to extend the BMO Harris line of credit facility for an additional period not to exceed 60 months, amend the facility to an aggregate amount of $25 million, and approve the use of the facility to invest an amount not to exceed $5.25 million related to the for-sale townhome components of Parkside 4 Phase 2 development. Item number 1A, recommendation to accept and submit to HUD the CHA Single Audit Report, Financial Statement Audit and Comprehensive Audit Financial Report for the year ended December 31st, 2018. Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the Finance and Audit Committee, I would like to present an omnibus motion for the approval of items number 1 and 1A.
Thank you, Commissioner Chico. We have a motion on the floor presented by Commissioner Chico for approval of item 1 and 1A. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed votes, abstentions, or recusals? Hearing none, item 1 and 1A are approved. Commissioner Megan Hart will now present the report for the Tenant Services Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Tenant Services Committee held its regular meeting at approximately 9:05 a.m. today here at the Family Investment Center. I chaired the meeting, and the following committee members were present as well: Commissioners Brewer, Harris, Parker, and Washington. Present also but not counted for the quorum were Chairman Hooker and Commissioners Chico, Matanke, and Matos. The Tenant Services Committee members then discussed, voted, and recommend for approval the following item. Item number 2, recommendation to award a contract for mobility services contract. Recommended awardee, HCP of Illinois, in an aggregate not to exceed amount of $6,955,894 for a 2-year base term and 3 one-year option terms. Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the Tenant Services Committee, I would like to present a motion for the approval of item number 2.
Thank you, Commissioner Hart. We have a motion on the floor presented by Commissioner Hart for approval of item number 2. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed votes, abstentions, or recusals? Hearing none, item number 2 is approved. The Real Estate and Operation Development Committee report will now be presented by Chairman Matt Brewer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. The Real Estate Operations Development Committee held its monthly meeting earlier this morning. I chaired the meeting, and the following committee members were present as well: Commissioners Chico, Harris, Matanke, and Matos. Although Chairman Hooker and Commissioners Hart, Parker, and Washington were also present, they were not counted toward the quorum, as they're not members of the committee. Committee members discussed, voted, and recommend for approval the following items. Item number 3, recommendation to execute housing assistance payments contracts for Diversity Manor and 5751 South Michigan, and housing assistance payments amendment for 5801 South Michigan Apartments. Item number 4, ratification of the formation of Ravenswood Senior Housing LLC and authorization to serve as a member of Ravenswood Senior Living GP LLC. Item number 5, authorization to loan CHA funds not to exceed $14 million for the redevelopment of the site at 2640 to 2720 North Sheffield. And finally, item number 6, an authorization to submit a disposition application to HUD for disposition of Harold Ickes property for the South Bridge Phase 1A and Phase 1B project. On behalf of the Real Estate Operations Development Committee, I would like to present an omnibus motion for approval of items 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Thank you, Commissioner Brewer. We have an omnibus motion presented by Commissioner Brewer for the approval of item number 3, 4, 5, and 6. May I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed votes, abstentions, or recusals? Hearing none, item 3 through 6 are approved by unanimous vote. We have a few announcements. In response to the May 21st board meeting, comments were available at the sign-in desk. As a reminder, there are no committee or board meetings scheduled for the month of August. Our next committee board meeting are scheduled for Tuesday, September 17th, 2019. But before we move into our public participation, I would like to acknowledge our CHA interns who are in attendance today. For this year, we have a total of 38 interns. 24 of those interns worked with our external vendors, and 14 interns worked in our internal departments at CHA. For this year, we have a total of, 19 of our interns are HCV residents, 11 from various locations within CHA portfolio, 1 intern from scattered sites, and 7 non-CHA residents. Universities that our interns are attending include the University of Illinois, Chicago and Urbana Chicago and Urbana campuses, University of Michigan, Purdue, Brown, St. Xavier, just to name a few. I'd like to take this moment and ask all of our interns to please stand, would you? We have them here. Thank you so very much. Congratulations, intern. We hope that your experience at CHA will be memorable and insightful. Let's give them really another hand. And good luck to you, interns. Thank you so very much for being here. We will now start our public participation. The registration is now closed. So we've covered all of the other announcements. So at this time, just before we bring on our public participation, I'd like to take this time to thank each and every one of you all that's been coming and has worked with us, has made contributions to the board, and have made us better. I started the board in September of 15, and this is my last board meeting. I submitted my resignation letter to the mayor on yesterday afternoon. So my announcement is this is the last board meeting that I'll be attending. And my resignation will be totally effective on Friday, the 19th, which is Friday coming up. To that end, I would like to personally thank all of you for your help, your contribution, and working with us as a board to help make us better so we can help do the things to help make CHA better overall. I've always, in closing, I'd like to say, I've always taken on positions that, and when I took them on, I would always say to myself, as I leave, I would like to be able to say to me, I believe that I helped make it better as I leave than it was when I got here. Thank you.
I was going to ask everybody to stand. Thank you, Gordon.
We thank you.
Thank you
Because
very,
you've
very
done
much for that round of applause. George, thank you too.
We'd just like to say thank you, obrigado, merci, for all that you have done and we will continue to do because you have really done a wonderful job of leading us here at the Chicago Housing Authority. We will certainly miss you, but we know that you will have much more to do, and we know that many of us will continue to see you, to fraternize with you, as we will continue our friendship. God bless you. And hasn't he done a wonderful job? Can we not just give him an applause?
Thank you. Mr. Chairman.
We're not done. I also want to first thank Chairman Hooker. Next to Commissioner Harris, I think I've been on the board longer than anyone else. And I remember when you first joined and where we were as a CHA at the time versus where we are now. And everyone in the room who's been along for this journey has seen the change. It's been night and day from where we started to where we are now, and it's been a result of your leadership. And this is at a phase when you were moving into retirement. This was supposed to be the easy part of your life, and you took on this task. So we're all very thankful and look forward to the friendship and the leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
John, I'd like to say something as well. I'm sorry I won't take up much time, but I've been working side by side with you now for 4 years as your vice chairman, and it's been an absolute honor. And you said it. You said what I wanted to say. This place is better off now today than it was before you came here. It's been an honor to work with you and the rest of this board, but for you to extend your experience and your leadership to Gene Jones and Jose and now James Bedley and all of us in senior leadership and on the board has been a great asset to the residents, and I think the residents in the city of Chicago will truly benefit from you. And I love getting to know you. Now you'll be a friend for life. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us.
Thank you, Greg.
One more, Hooker, one more. I just want to say on behalf of the resident commissioners, Mr. Hooker have always made us feel welcome. He made us feel like all of us are just as important as the next, including himself. And so I'm grateful to have served under you in my first tenure, and I just look forward to hearing great things about you in the future. I know you ain't done quite yet. Thank you for a wonderful leadership position and welcoming me as a commissioner. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Also, as a new board member, I really appreciate the time that you spent to teach me how to come here and be ready and work with the people and make sure that we take care of our families first. So thank you all for your comments, and I love the way he's handled, and I'm very upset that he's leaving so fast.
I just want to say thank you, Chairman Hooker, for making me feel so comfortable, and your leadership and how you work so closely with Gene, our CEO, and together you made a great team. And we have a lot of great memories with you. And besides all that, you're the best smelling man on the board. You have the best fragrance. And I truly will miss that.
Excuse me, I do not want to
Yeah.
sit next
Yeah.
to her next time.
No, but he know that's true. I just want to say thank you, and a lot of folks that don't know, when we get behind closed doors as a group, we're always fighting and going at it, and I know I get on most people's nerves. But I know I struck a lot of nerves behind closed doors, we all together, but you listened, you paid attention, and you helped make some of those things happen. If it had not been for you, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Amen.
Even though a lot of times I might have pissed you off, that happened again, but you made it happen just to show me. I'm gonna show her what I'm made of. And you made it happen, and I really appreciate it. As I said, I was here when you got here, but I met you as a stranger, and I have taken you as a friend. And I hope that friendship never ends. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francine.
Okay, sorry, but everyone else spoke, so I will too. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate your ability to listen to the residents and press pause on some things that might have gone forward if you hadn't pressed pause to make them better. So, just on behalf of the whole board and the residents, I think that you will be sorely missed. You have been, and you always will be a leader in my eyes, and we appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you so very much.
Mr. Chairman, as you know, Eugene could not be here today.
Yeah, talking to Mike.
How about now?
No.
No. I get to cheat, Mike. Is that good?
Good.
So, Mr. Chairman, as you know, Eugene could not be here today, so I will speak on behalf of Eugene and the, not just the leadership team, but the entire team of CHA. I think every employee of CHA has gotten accustomed to seeing Chairman Hooker or Mr. Hooker come to the office, have a conversation with him as he's passing in and out of the office. He's frequently in the office just as much, if not more, than some of the paid individuals. So little do people realize this is a demanding task that he has taken on for 4 years without pay and sometimes without even a thank you. So to the extent that we have failed to provide that thank you, I cannot provide any pay, but to the extent that we have failed to provide that thank you, I want to thank you now for all of the sacrifice that you and your family has made to be here for us, to work on behalf of the residents, the vendors, the people in this room, and not just the white developers, but the Section 3 vendors and all of the other people who comprise the CHA. I want to thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for everything that you've done for the CHA.
Thank you. Love you.
So commissioners, thank you all, and thank you.
Chairman Hooker,
Yes, Gerald,
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I just want to say that everything that has already been said, I just echo. I've worked with you directly the least amount of time, but I've truly enjoyed the time that we have had together. I've enjoyed our conversations, your advice, and your mentorship, and I really will truly miss you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gerald. And thanks to all. So, Lee did work with me day in, day out, her and SB, so thanks to all of you. As it was a little difficult to just throw this out at you, but it's moving pretty fast. I made a decision, and I would hate to some of you all to see me on Wednesday or Thursday and say that I didn't say anything to you on Tuesday, and I knew it, so I took this opportunity to share it with you. So, let's move on. As a reminder, speakers will be given 2 minutes to address the board. As I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, personal attacks, abusive language levied at commissioners, staff, residents, and other individuals will not be tolerated. Individuals who are disruptive during the meeting will be given a warning and will, if necessary, be removed from the meeting. Responses to comments presented during the public participation will be distributed at the speakers board next meeting, at the September board meeting, I'm sorry. Lois will let you know when you have 30 seconds remaining and when your time is up. If you have any written materials for the board, please give the materials to the board secretary. Our first registered speaker, and I'll let you know, but Ms. Perry, I did hear you. We will look into the responses. We'll take a second look at them from a higher authority. And so that was, I understood that. I have to admit to you, I hadn't looked at them until I get to the board meeting and see them. So they are presented, and we will look at them before they are presented to make sure that the questions were answered going forward. I won't be here, but that is one of the last things I'm going to put in place.
Excuse me, before you get started, you said look at them going forward, and also some of the issues are addressed. Because someone's response and they still not addressed. They leave this meeting and come over to my office. So they're gonna address the issues also, once they get on the mic.
I'm sorry, I don't understand
You
what you're
said
saying.
for now, you look at the response that's given at the board meetings, even though you're not gonna be here. So if responses are given here, that means some of those issues that's given here, they can be addressed or will be addressed. But sometimes they need a commission meeting and come over to the CAC office so we got with some of the concerns that they addressed here, which is not fair.
Well, when I made my, thank you. So when I made my statement, I made it in totality. We will deal with it from a holistic, total approach. I've asked already to review how that's done and respond in the direct manner in which the statement or request was made. I'm looking at it more holistically, okay? You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Francine, we will do that. So I would like, if you would, we have several speakers here, so I'd like to call three at a time and come up, and we can move this and expeditiously and make it work. So the first speaker is, I'm calling for Paul McKinley. I'm calling for Calvin Jackson, and I'm calling for Candace Walton. Will all three of you please come up to the mic? Thank you. Paul, would you start?
Well, first of all, Mr. Hooker, I'd like to thank your tenure at the board. You did, I must respect that you did handle the Section 3 issue as a CEO, because you did understand that for years, for over 30 years, African Americans, which made 80% of all public housing, was shut out, and 80% of the money was going to groups like Coalition for the Homeless, which is not a black organization, it's actually a Jewish organization, which there are no Jewish ghettos in Chicago. And so we're glad that this deal was finally, that there was some restitution for African Americans to be a part of the development of their community. And that was a great thing. That was your great contribution. And this board also, even though I may have said some things to the people on the board that y'all may not have liked, specifically to you, James. And I just want to apologize to some of y'all on the board. I did say
keep all the comments to the board,
but
not
the bottom line is that I thank you for the contribution that you did for your community. But I got 10 minutes, so I can get what I need to get in.
2 minutes.
Well, I got some seconds left. So what I need to say now is that the Gordy group need to be a little bit more streamlined, because once you give your final packages to them, it seems like it's having a hard time getting out of there to acquisition. And so what we need to do is we need to streamline that some more. So once you give your package in, you can get it streamlined and you can get your PO and get to work. Because once the work is get out, we can put our people to work. And with that, I'd just like to thank everybody at the board. Thank you for what you did to the community. Thank you very much.
Mr. McKinley. Calvin Jackson. Yeah.
Good morning to the board,
Good morning,
and I'm sorry to see you go. Congratulations to the new people in your new positions. And I'm really sad to see you go because it's good to see a black man in a powerful position that you're in and the stuff that you've been through, you know, knowing that you ain't no punk and you know how to maneuver a way through that and show us how to be tough, you know, and fair. You know, I really appreciate that. I need your cell phone number so I can call you up. And hopefully we don't have to keep looking to, like Francine, like she said, to help handle some of these problems. Now, I'm fresh out of non-compliance jail, so I'm going to be back to work. So what we talking about was with HUD, the Section 3 reporting concerns that they're coming out with the report. And it's about Section 3 participants working long-term, not just getting a job, okay? So what I'm asking is, can Capital Construction and will Capital Construction sponsor a meeting with Section 3 businesses that are residents and voucher holders and veterans with the people that are part of, with the contractors that are part of the TOC program, so we could develop a relationship with them and become, you know, sometimes subcontractors to that. That's very much needed, because it looks like Section 3 is the newest game in town, and everybody is coming. All the politicians, relatives, and everything. And I ain't got nothing against you hiring your brother and your sister and your cousin. But you got to let some of us in, too. And we got to watch out. They all piling on. And like Paul said, the blood that was spilled over all these projects, my cousins and them, too, were mostly 90% black people. Okay, second question. Will CHA develop a reporting status like what HUD is trying to ask for on the residents, voucher holders, and Section 3 people, their employment status, and how long they've been on the job? So this is needed. Your commitment, I like that word, to CHA residents, voucher holders, and low-income people, not just the politicians and their relatives in this town. Thank you.
Candace Walton, that you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I had a few concerns. I'm an Avila resident, and I've been out my unit for 3 weeks. On the account that it will be renovated, I was told to turn in my keys, and I have boxes that was presented to me from CHA, and that the renovation would start, and it hasn't started yet. Now I'm being told that they're only gonna do partial of my unit instead of renovating the whole unit. And then on top of that, I can't get in to check my mail, and no one over is talking to me from management. So I wanted to know what is gonna be done about me being out here like I am.
We both are. We both were told that our units were gonna be rehabbed.
Okay.
Now we're being told that the units are put on hold, that it's under investigation. Why would our units be put on hold and be put under investigation when you all gave us the authorization to move out our units and stated that you were gonna allow jobs to come in and do the units, which is Mint Construction? Not only that we were told, even Mint Construction was told. So we both been out of our units for 3 weeks. They have our keys, and they're not doing anything, and they're not saying anything. I'm constantly sending emails back and forth, and nothing is being done. Then I'm told, oh, well, you need to go back in your unit. What do you mean go back in the unit? All our stuff is in storage.
And they asked for the
Everything
storage.
is in storage. They asked for the storage bill. They got all of that. They sent us boxes out. We packed all our stuff up, and we moved out. This was given order. We didn't just walk out our units. We don't own anything over in CHA. We're not going to walk out our units and just abandon our units without authorization. We were told, and we were given boxes. Why give us boxes if you didn't give us authorization to move out of our units to rehab?
All right. What I would like to do, I personally and some of the other board members are just hearing that. I'd like to make this assignment and give it to our COO, which is our Chief Operating Officer, who will work with the various areas, department heads and otherwise to work on that. I mean, we're hearing it. I don't want to take it under advisement. I want to take it and put it in the hands of somebody that's going to fix it. And that's what we're going to do. Okay? Now, James is sitting right here, so he knows what I'm asking for.
And the sad part is we living in other people's houses. I don't think they understand that.
No.
That's a stressful situation.
No.
Nobody should have to live like that and put up with the mess that your staff puts them through. It's enough. People are tired of that. Their attitudes, their anger, and you sit here every meeting, you stress, respect my people. But your people ain't got no respect for nobody. I'm not here to kiss nobody's butt. I love everybody's heart, but nobody's gonna disrespect me and tell me what they didn't say. And this is called—
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait 1 minute.
We got to go through
No, wait. I hear what you're saying. It needs to be addressed, and we're going to deal with it today, but I can't deal with it no more standing in front of me. It will be addressed today. Now, I want to finish this board meeting. If you want to stay here and wait a little while, James will talk with you after, but I can't let him go over there because we got other things we got to deal with. We hear you. I'm not disrespecting you, and I'm not taking anything away from you. I'm saying this is the first time some of the members of this board up here, I mean, others have heard it. I don't know that. What I am saying is allow us to work on this and work with you today. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Brenda Perry, Myra King, Ruth Freeman. Would you all please come up now? Thank you, Ms. Perry.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
Thank you for what you said earlier about giving me some answers. But I'm here today because CHA has exhibited for 3 solid years since I've been coming to these board meetings a pattern of fraud, bait and switch in my building. You tell us we're getting one kind of materials, I see another. I see stuff going out the door and other stuff coming in. We were supposed to have semi-gloss paint. I see flat paint. A renovated building in a lobby that's beautiful looks lousy. It was just painted in January and it looks lousy because it's bleeding through now because you used the wrong paint. I mean, these are the kinds of things that's bait and switch. I'm following money. There's a difference in what it costs for flat paint and what it costs for semi-gloss paint. And then you're talking about extra labor to do all of the touch-ups. Because that lobby does not look fresh. And yet it is fresh. I'm looking at the apartments. You started out with one consistent thing with the cabinets and this, that, and the other. I'm seeing all kinds of items being switched out for cheaper materials. That's called bait and switch, and it is a fraud under Chapter 38 in the state of Illinois. And I am going to go to the Attorney General about it. And if this was a private building, you all would be considered slum landlords. And yes, my elevator's out, and one elevator for 200 and some people is not enough. We were promised that this was the year we were getting the elevator, and now I don't know where in the list where you paid somebody $3 million to tell you which elevator should go first. I could have told you that, which ones are the worst. So, again, you will be hearing from the Attorney General, and I hope the mayor, the new mayor, is looking into this as well, because this is bait and switch, and it is a fraud. Thank you. And I'm sorry to see you go, because you've always given me due respect. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perry. Ms. King.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ms. King. I wish you well, Commissioner Hooker.
Thank you.
Only got 2 minutes. When has it stopped that boarded up units should not be occupied units? In Loudoun, there are about 6, maybe more, buildings that are occupied, and residents are living there. One is Unit 210, and there is a senior in there in the wheelchair. Now, what if the whole window boarded up? What if he had to get up out of there? Eastlake is our management company. Right now, we are under rehab. Kitchens and bathrooms are being rehabbed. The contractors, Tiles and Styles, the work is poor. There are a host of complaints about the rehab, so many so that CHA, the contractor, and management are meeting every week. We should have met today when I would have talked about this today, but we're all here at this meeting, so I'm bringing my concerns here. We meet because of all of the issues we're having with this rehab. We went to do a walkthrough of some of the rehabs that have been done. I was so shocked. We knocked at doors and said, how do you like your rehab? I almost fell out. That's not no walkthrough. We're supposed to visibly put eyes on the work that was done. We went to a lot of the sites that were, the units that were rehabbed. They didn't get any notice. So half of them were not even at home. So we had a problem with that. One resident, because she spoke to me about her unit, she received a call from management a few days after I gave them her documented information and stated that they called her to say she has unauthorized tenants. What happened to the process that's in the visitation policy from the ACOP? She should have never received a phone call. And because she received the phone call, we feel like that was a retaliatory and an intimidation tactic. She should have been given something in writing. Eastlake is a slum landlord. I'm not sure if they know what they're doing. When you go to management and she's overwhelmed, she'll say things like, oh, I'm so tired of this. What? It's only 120 units in Loudoun. If you can't handle 120 units, you need to get on.
Okay.
Please look into these allegations.
We will do that.
Thank you much.
Ms. Freeman?
Good morning. My name is Ruth Freeman. Thank you for allowing me to speak. This is my first time speaking here at your board. And I am a president of the senior group in the Little Italy Village of the Mixed Income for Seniors. And I want to petition this board and ask if you guys could see your way to issue sponsorship and some funding so that we can open up programs, because a lot of our seniors are not able to get out and participate in certain programs because of money. And we want to open up different activities for them, like different games, going out for different things. And so a lot of them are on limited income. So if you could just see your way to do that, that's what I'm here to petition for.
Excuse me.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me. Are you talking about the senior group where you live at or the senior group for the mixed incomes?
Senior group for the mixed income.
The mixed incomes have senior groups that meet faithfully here at the FIC and have senior mixers. They go on cruises, they go on tours, they support each other in fundraising events, but the only help they get is from CAS, which I always give them the space, and Ella Winfro and myself, and they need CHA to kind of help them out.
Yes, because we need different venues.
It's 16 senior groups.
Hold on. You know, hold on. Let me just tell you something. I've sat up here for 4 years, and I've gone through a learning process. And we take it very serious when you come. And Commissioner Washington worked with a lot of the seniors, but we have tenant services that does that. So we hear what you're saying. One of the things that I did learn and took under advisement, because I know we get back to you with responses at the next meeting, but I also know when folks come up here, they have their issues, their concerns, and those things that they care about. But being here and being at CHA and working with it day in and day out, I have to understand and know, and I need to share it, that no matter how thin a dime is, it has two sides, one called head and one called tail. sometimes we hear the head side and we have to work on getting the tail side. Rather than make it a debate or something, we take it under advisement and have the tail side addressed a little later. So we heard you. I know what Commissioner Washington was just saying, but we have a department here that does work with that, and we will get back to you, okay?
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Joyce Williams, Minnie Jefferson, and Carol Folks. Please come to the mic, please. Thank you. I only called 3. How many I got?
10. They must be in the group.
That reminds me of in the biblical days when they put 3
They're
in the
with me.
furnace.
They're my posse.
All right, when they put 3 in the
Oh,
furnace,
that's your posse.
he looked around and he saw 4 later. So I understand how that goes. Work with me. Come on, talk to me.
All right, good
Are all
morning.
of you all going to talk? Well, wait, how this going to work now?
That's a posse.
Tell me what's what.
They're just standing with me. They're not
Wait,
going
wait.
to speak.
So you're Joyce Williams.
Yes, sir, I am.
So who is Minnie Jefferson?
Pretty high.
Okay, all right. So that's all, this is all Joyce Williams. All right, I got an understanding. Thank you.
All right, I'll make this quick since some of my 2 minutes are
No,
gone.
you can start your 2 minutes now. I just needed an understanding.
Oh, okay.
Will you give her time, Lois? Go ahead.
All right, thank you. As it has been said, I am Joyce Williams, and I am an employee, a security officer for Case Detective and Security Agency. Before I speak, may I commend you, sir, on and wish you well on the next move. Now, I'm here because I want to address to you some of the concerns that my fellow security officers and I have about our work conditions. First of all, there's the issue of our pay. Every payday, which is every 2 weeks, our paychecks are being messed up, and management seems to be ineffective in dealing with our concerns in a timely manner. There's also the issue of training. We are very unevenly trained, and at times we are trained, if you can call it thus, by people who don't know much more than the security officers who have been hired. Speaking for myself, I had been posted at a site where no one had trained me, and I had to learn certain things from the maintenance staff, and it is not their duty to train me. I have had people tossed into me to be trained. Also, we're being bullied by management. They are not accessible to us. We have had our breaks taken from us, which I understand is a violation of the contract between Cates and CHA. It has negatively impacted our ability to be effective officers because we're there to make sure that the residents of CHA at least are, being taken care of. So I'm just asking you to work with us to make CHA a better place for security officers and the residents alike. Thank you.
And thank you. We will look into that, yes. Thank you very much. Ms. Williams. Minnie Jefferson?
Yes, I'm Minnie Jefferson, and I'm a resident at 4227 South Oakenwall. I have a concern about our management. What has happened is that I received a letter dated the 13th of June saying that our property management firm had changed, and we have no idea. Well, it tells us who it is, but individual persons, we have not been introduced to anybody. People have access to all of our information. We're told to do things, and basically, we have no idea who to turn to. We see a variety of people coming in and out of our building. Nothing, basic things like who do we address? It is not very respectful of us as tenants. We have, guidelines. You all have guidelines, but we are not being acknowledged. I addressed this to you all because this letter is on CHA, and I still hold CHA responsible for my services. I lived in family housing in the 70s, and I came back to senior housing when I retired because I know there's a system. I know there are rules, regs, etc., but with this property management system, it has not been conducive or respectful of us. So I have serious concerns about it. Specifically, our grounds are not being taken care of. I help pick out flowers for our grounds that haven't gotten there. Garbage cans have been moved so that if we pick up something, it needs to go in the garbage can. They're not there. Simple things that are respectful of us as tenants and residents in our home. And I'd like to have something addressed about it. Thank you.
We will look into that. One of the things, and I hear you, one of the things that I had asked us to do was, first of all, we did have some changes in property manager, so that has to work its way out. But I had, in my travels through the buildings, I thought that we should have a picture of whoever the building manager was and whoever the tenant services person was, so you'll know. So as I depart, I'll continue to push for that, okay?
At least their name.
Yeah, all right?
You don't know their name sometimes.
Yeah. Thank you. Ms. Folks?
Right here.
Thank you, Ms.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
I'd like to say good luck to you.
Thank you.
Chairman Booker, I want to say that you have paid attention to the things that I have said. For example, last meeting on the 21st of May, you had me speak, you had Mr. Langston speak to me in regard to the wrongful towing of 2 of our cars out of Vivian Gordon Harsh apartment parking lot, and that situation has finally been resolved. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I am here today, Ms. Carol Folks from Vivian Gordon Harsh apartment campus, senior campus I call it, and I am the president Emetrius. I wanted to say that we got a whole new staff, management staff, maintenance. We were not officially introduced. We have a real concern with the RSC who works with our personal files, that we would have someone come in and start working at our campus, but not meet us personally so we could meet them, considering they're dealing now with our personal confidential files. We'd like to say, I heard Brenda Perry speak on a bait and switch situation. We have had that several times. Our beautiful camp floor of the patio on the 14th floor has been fixed several times with products that has not held up. Right now, it's all cracked up and everything. It's the summertime when we're supposed to be able to go out there and enjoy it, and it's a wreck. Number one, we have no really nice patio furniture. Like 19 years ago when I moved there was beautiful patio furniture that you could go out and enjoy. We don't have that anymore. But the main thing is to bring in a whole new management team and staff, and they were not officially introduced to us. I mean, how can this happen? Especially when people are going to deal with your confidential files. And that's all I want to say today.
Okay, we will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Folks. We will look into that. Number one, we've had some property management changeovers, and some of it was unexpected, and we just had to make adjustments quickly. However, that should not affect your services. So what we will do is look into that even further and really get back to you.
Okay, and quickly, We don't know what happened to our beautification projects
Let
on our.
let us look into it
Okay,
more
no
holistically.
problem.
I don't
Across the
wanna-
board, for all the
right.
senior
I don't
senior
wanna-
campuses.
Yeah, I
Thank
don't
you
wanna
so
just
much.
deal with it one-on,
Thank you.
itemized,
Up to
okay?
you.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Can I say one thing to that effect, Mr. Hooker?
Yes.
I just want to say one thing. Both RSCs, when they come in, they supposed to be giving the apartment of each resident their name, their apartment number. They're not supposed to have residents' personal information. They develop that on their own. Only property management and CHA get our personal information. Everybody else have to knock on the doors and get it from us, and they get that when they do their job. So they got your personal information, somebody need to take it back. They're not supposed to be in there with all your information, just your name, your address. They knock on your door, get the rest of your stuff. That's for all RSC.
All right, well, thank you so very much, and let us look into it for you. So we have now Pamela Wilson. Jenny Newsom, would you please come up? And also Michael Sullivan. Yes, ma'am.
Good
Ms.
morning,
Wilson?
everyone. My name is Pamela Wilson. I'm from Kenneth Campbell Apartment. I'm the vice president of it. I'm concerned about our manager. We have not received a manager in our building. And the residents are going crazy. They had unlocked our freezer and took things out of the freezer that way they was not supposed to. It has been erratic in our building because there's no management at all.
Okay.
Thank you.
We will get back to you with that. Ms. Newsom, please. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, all of you
morning.
commissioners, and I hate to see you going. You know, it's so hard to say goodbye. We're not talking about yesterday, but today. Now, I'm up here about the security and the security cameras. Apparently, the security cameras are out in some places in different senior buildings, and especially the one that I live in, okay? We've had people to come into the parking lot. They've broken the seniors, and it's a gated parking lot, and it's locked. But people are coming over the gate, and they're breaking out the senior windows, as Ms. Wilson addressed about breaking into the freezer. And then they stole the items out. They're vandalizing the buildings. I realize that, you know, that you guys are going through a transition and everything, but I will say, when the cat's away, the mice are playing, okay? What's happening is, and most of the senior buildings know, they have not been introduced to their managers. Yes, there is concerns, but with these security officers, look, this is what they do. They have more FaceTime, Instagram, Twitter. That's all they do. Every one of them. And as far as security officers talking about their break time, they're on the break all the time. I know with, what is it, AGB? They're on break all day long. Because this is why in the senior buildings, that's part of our vandalism problem. Because, see, people are entering our buildings, and they are doing things, and nothing is being done. And another thing, most of those on the monitors, if you came up to any of those buildings, you can look on there and see where there's actually spaces that's out. That means that's a camera that's down. Okay? And nothing is being done about it.
Well, let us look into it. You know, again, I hear about
I understand,
I hear about
Mr. Hooker.
you know, the two double-headed side of a coin. So I get some head side, I get some tail side. But I know at one point you get them both, you'll end up with two sides.
Right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hooker.
Mike Sullivan.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sullivan.
Good luck in your endeavors. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
This is what mixed emotions. What I want to talk about is I'm Section 3, Tier 6 sprinkler contractor, the only one. I've been in this program for 3 years, in 3 years, I worked on 4 buildings. I've heard from your staff, not directly via email, but it being birthed into the air so someone can come back to me and say, it's because I don't have the capacity or the capabilities, which is all lies. Nobody ever asked me what I have and who I have, or do I have the capacity to do the project. I do have, and I've shown it in my work, the ability to complete the jobs. Now, there's a Lincoln Perry Senior, which you all understand, it's had a fire. Lincoln Perry Senior and Annex had a fire. The Annex building the apartment was saved. The senior apartment wasn't. That's due to the fact that I was only able to stub into the apartment building, but then I was stopped from completing the system. So this is why the apartment unit burned. And it's been stated that the building is not going to be sprinkled. Now, Ms. Perry's been coming up here screaming and hollering about, for the past 7 years, Novak Construction and the building not being completed, and this is her building. But yet, when it's time to do her building, it's a stop on it for whatever reason. Also, Allgill Gardens, I was told I didn't get the project because I was $150,000 above everybody else. Another lie. If I bid at 200-some thousand and I'm 150,000, that means whoever bidded on the job and got awarded the job was 50,000. There's no way in the world that you're going to bid a project, a daycare and a library from the ground up for 50,000. So there's lies going back and forth in regards to my proposals and everything, and which also had another fire protection company come in and submit a bid, and he was $4,500 more than I am. So,
first of all, your time is up. So, again, this is one of those. I hear the head side. I know there's a tail side. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I do know that because the dime has 2 sides. Have you finished Lincoln Perry?
Yes, Lincoln Perry Annex, in which I was delayed 6 to 8 months in getting started.
So Ms. Perry is telling me that you haven't finished it. You're saying you have.
I finished Lincoln Perry Annex, the 8-story, the 9-story I got stopped.
All right, well, let's not get into I won't get into debate with you because the proper folks that know about that, know about you, know about your work is here. And we will deal, and I will get a chance to talk with them along with James, and I'm sure they'll be getting back with you.
Okay, so yes, sir, I completed Lincoln Perry Annex, which is an 8-story.
And last but not least, you come up here and you say that somebody told you that somebody got a bid lower than yours, and that's a lie. Well, again, a dime has 2 sides. Well, hold on, it has a head and a tail. I just heard the head side, and we'll get a chance to hear about the tail side. And I don't know how you could know both sides, because I don't even know both sides.
No, Mr. Hooker, that's not what I'm saying. I didn't say no, they were lower than me. They said they were $150,000 lower than me. That's a lie.
Well, no, let's not debate because we're taking it on. You did say they were lower than you.
Yes, but...
All right, now you just told me you didn't say that. So let's stop while we're here. Well, you and I are both ahead right now, so let's stop. And let's let the right folks look into this with and for you and be able to have all the data in front of them and to deal with it, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. George Blakemore, Mary Baggett, and Lindsay Graves, would you please come up?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blakemore.
Institutional racism, a culture of corruption, and a sanctuary city. Illegal and housing, public housing. When these people, illegals, are invading our great nation, great state and city, they have to be housed. That's where I get upset. Claude Anderson said the negative effect that the illegal immigrants have on the black community. They're coming in, competing for housing that native blacks, enslaved in America, are entitled to these houses. How could the government be so vicious to let an illegal person, and they'll stand in public housing. When Kiki and Ray Ray and whatever, JJ, say, oh, he can't stay. He has a criminal record. He is a citizen, a U.S. citizen, and he's entitled to all the goods and services and contracts that this nation has. I dare you. These people are being housed, and that's knocking out black people. Us, sanctuary, institutional racism, plantation, right here. And this is not only happening in the city of Chicago, throughout the United States, in these black ghettos in Houston and Dallas, everywhere. The negative effect. Now, some of you read this. Claude Anderson, a renowned historian, said the negative effect that illegal immigrants have, particularly on the black community, particularly people of color like us. So for you, sir, I challenge you with all your expertise, with Commonwealth Edison and being here, I challenge you. We want to see you here. You don't have to pander to no political power. I want to see you here. I want you to sign up, and what the knowledge you have, I want you to give it back to our community. May God bless you. In return, bless somebody else, and I hope your future is great. And we need to see you, sir. We want you to come down as a citizen and tell them, straighten it out. I want you to be a community activist. I'm telling you what to do now.
Thank you, George. Thank you. Mary Baggett, come on, Mary.
I have a problem with
Is Mr. Graves here? All right.
with East Lake. First of all, they're in the community center, whereas they think it's their business center. They have a problem with the kids walking through the building. The new property manager goes to say that the children are loitering through the building, and I had to tell her first and foremost, this is their community center. This is the only place they got to come to enjoy themselves. Secondly, you all have your own building that sits across from us where you all should be, and not in the community center. So for you to sit up and say the kids are loitering through the building, I got a problem with that. Because this is where they come to enjoy themselves. Not for you to say they disturbing you. Technically, you disturbing them because you're in their space when you should be over in your property management's building. What we gonna do about that? Because that's disrespectful for her to even have said that out of her mouth. And your staff to agree with her that it's okay.
You want me to respond?
Yes.
This is the first I'm hearing it. So I'm going to tell you like I've told others. No matter how thin a dime is, it has two sides. One called head, one called tail. Now, I just heard the head side, and I have to go learn and hear the tail side. I cannot intelligently respond to you other than to tell you we're going to look into it and work with it, but we're going to hear the other side also.
Yeah, oh, that's great, that's great.
Now that's what I have to say.
Let's deal with their attitudes, because they have some very, very nasty attitudes on how they talk to residents. They need to tone it down.
Okay.
Because the residents ain't going to accept it.
Right. Well, we're hearing from you, and we're making notes of it, and we will deal with it.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Mr. Graves?
Good morning. My name is Lindsey Graves. I'm currently the president of Vivian Carter Apartments. I've been throughout the whole South Side during this current LAC election. And what I've discovered is these points I like to make. You paint an old house, it's still an old house with paint. Your renovation projects in these buildings are a dismal failure. These people don't need paint. They need elevators, sir. You had $283 million 3 years ago with no strings attached, and you did not spend one dime. Sun Times has the article. I want to say to you that these buildings need electricians to rewire the building. They also need washing machines that are commercial and not residential. They are failing. You also need to be able to have, the elevators need to be replaced. And I want to move now further down to the point, and they only cost about $1 million apiece. And out of $283 million, that was a drop in the bucket. It should have been done. Many Ripperton, I witnessed over people waiting for 30, 40, or 50 minutes to get on the elevator. One guy for an hour to get his bike. 400 people, one elevator. They dehydrated, their sugar is out of whack, and they can't get on the elevator. That is a violation of federal law, the protection of the people for their safety, health, and welfare. That is a law. I want to move on down to the vending machines. Highway legal robbery. These people are paying big money, $1.50 for a bag full of air. I also want to say that we need to get the money right on that. At Vivian Carter, our limited liability situation, for the lawyer, I need an answer. Now that we're a corporation, we need to have a standing on who do we sue, Vivian Carter LLC or CHA. And piggyback on Francine's point, Chicago has a 70-year history of administrations from the Daily on down, for the exception of Harold Washington, that has shown that it's been the demographics. It's who lives on the south and west side of Chicago is the problem. We don't get a dime. We need to have a moratorium on all monies being spent, and we need to have a moratorium on all RAD program people seeking loans on the building, because what I'm seeing now, they're not seeking a loan to resolve the true issues and concerns of the people, safety, health, and welfare. Thank you.
The next three speakers will be Mark Carter, Juanita Stevenson, and Tamika Hope. Would all three of you come up?
It's still morning, so good morning.
Is Juanita Stevenson and Tamika Hope here?
There go Tamika.
Chairman Hooker.
How we doing, Mark?
Thank you for the work that you put in. But we take this as a slap in the face for this administration to move you. We see this as a political move. Among other moves that are about to happen, it's going to impact us negative.
Well,
so
Mark,
you don't have to respond.
I have to respond if it's not true.
I'm saying
Hold
this.
on. I know what you're saying, but I can't let you sit here and tell people things that I know is not true. The administration did not move me. I was asked to come here in 15, and I just retired in 12, and I didn't retire to come to CHA. But Ram asked me a couple of times would I just come and work on it, and I chose to say okay because I could give back. But I didn't come to do 4 years. I came to do 1, maybe 2. I got to know you and others, and we were doing things that were making a change. And I was working with Gene Jones, and I ended up staying the other 2 years, which is 4. Now, I will tell you this, and I'm telling everybody here, last July 9th, I was out of town. My term was up. My 4-year term was up. I also decided that my time was up. No one decided that for me. So I have to correct you.
We need you
I don't want
4 more
others-
years. 4 more.
No.
4 more years. 4 more. Well,
no. So I needed to make that correction. I don't want it to be on the record that they called me in and got rid of me. They did not do that. I submitted my letter of resignation to the mayor, and the mayor, they all have to put whoever, it's their time to put folks in, and it's my time to move on. And I made that decision.
it is what it is.
Right.
So I've heard a lot about the mobility communities and things like that, opportunity areas. I think the CHA should work to make sure that all these communities are opportunity areas, not just where, all these communities need to be pushed to be such. But the main thing I'm here to talk about is the power that these unions have over these communities and these development projects, which will be met with swift resistance from our community because they make sure that they leave us out of these federally funded projects. And so as these projects are coming up, we're requesting that HUD comes from the national level to partner with us and go into a community benefit agreement directly with HUD, since these project labor agreements seem to have so much power to exclude us on this level. So reading that whole PLA, they get too much power. They talking about authorization, anything, any altering, or they want to control everything. And so we say no to that, and we would hope that we get some real support from CHA to work with us as well as they work with these unions.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Is Juanita Stevenson here? Okay. Ms. Holt?
Good morning.
How are you?
Everyone? I'm sorry to see you go.
Thank you.
But you say you care about the residents, give us 4 more years. Let's see how much you care. Yeah, that's what I thought. But seriously, and it's finna hurt my heart to say this. Your staff, some of them are good, and some of them have their challenges. I'm starting to wonder, are these political hires, or are they some kin to somebody that you can't pretty much do what needs to be done with them when they're not doing their job after so many years of the same complaint? Nothing is perfect, but stumbling over the same thing for years, or not just doing anything, just waiting to retire and doing not anything, is a problem for residents. It's a problem for you as leadership. I say that to say this. A lot of women in these positions need some sensitivity training or whatever. To try to talk to people like you talk to your children at home, that you just meet right off back, lets me know that you've been doing this for a while. To talk to people and try to treat people like they less than is a problem. I don't like bullies. I'm not going to be bullied, and you're not finna talk to me any kind of way. But to see it done to you right off back, you know how they doing others, especially if you didn't present yourself for them to do that to you. And I hate to say this because I'm a black woman. Some of these black women are the worst at doing it and abusing their authority. It has to stop. And for anybody to try to impede on my livelihood, this is the only way. This area is in the city of Chicago is how most black contractors are eating, have ever ate that much, even with some of the sharecropping tactics. For you to think that you pretty jeopardize that and not try to straighten it out and make it better, that's a problem. We're gonna go to war about that.
Thank you. So is Ms. Stevens here?
No, she left.
Okay, she's gone. So, Ms. Ellen, no, Derek Valerieri? Pronounce your last name for me, Derek. Is Derek here? Okay, we can move on. Christina Lewis, are you here? All right. Is that Dakari Watkins? Dakari Watkins, are you here? All right. And Nedbish Franklin. Well, I'm just reading it the way I can see it here. But I don't mind being corrected. I appreciate that. Come on up. Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Christina Lewis, and I'm here on behalf of my mother, Lillian Senson. She's been living at 1111 West Roosevelt, and recently my stepfather passed, who was the leaseholder. We were told that she couldn't be put back on the lease, and she was removed from the lease by him, and he told her that he had her removed from the lease in May. I reached out to Ms. Tamika Holt in regards to this because when she went over to Roosevelt Square told her she couldn't be added back to the lease and she's his wife. For what reason he removed her from the lease, I don't know. Now, he died, he was in stage 4 cancer. He tells her this on his dying bed. Now, I've sent out emails. I sent it to Ms. Holt as an advocate to help us out. We got emails back saying that they were gonna look into it. Ms. Rachel contacted me because my mother really doesn't have a phone, she has a government phone. Ms. Rachel called me and said, my mother needs to get back on the waiting list. She been living in this house for I don't know how long, but now all of a sudden you're gonna tell her she needs to get back on the waiting list. The only thing you can tell her is she can be added as a live-in aid and she's his legal wife? I don't understand that. So now she's supposed to be homeless? Nobody else has said anything else, and now I'm here today. I came all the way from Schaumburg, Illinois to be here to help my mom.
Let's not talk about that. The emails immediately talking about she's an unauthorized tenant. Well, she didn't know she was an unauthorized tenant. She was constantly paying rent. She never signed anything, was never made to sign anything to say that she was being taken off the lease. She was unaware. Yeah. Why? I guess wives, women don't have no rights when you're wives, right? It's already bad enough that we can't have our mates living with us straight.
Ms. Francine, I heard you say people can come down to your office. Do I need to come down to your office so you can
Ms.
help
Lewis.
No, you don't.
Ms. Lewis.
No, you don't. But please
Ms.
listen
Lewis. Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
I'm aware of the situation that you're dealing with. I've seen the emails. I spoke with Ms. Holt last week and committed to getting an answer to you this week. I'm having the staff review it to see what the options are. No one is interested in having your mother evicted. So we're looking at her facts and situation and the HUD regulations, and we'll get back to you this week.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is my mother.
Oh, that's her. I just made 65 years old on the 27th of May. My husband died May 31st. He came home on hospice. I knew nothing about it. Okay? And we've been paying rent ever since then. All of a sudden, when he died, they said that I had to leave the premises.
And I have the money orders for her rent.
I understand. I understand.
Let us look into it.
I understand.
He's already on it.
Thank you.
Nebraska, come on up.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
This is my first time actually coming to one of these meetings, right? And as I sat in the audience,
welcome.
Thank you, young man. Thank you. And it's kind of crazy to me that this the first time I'm coming, you finna leave. But don't even worry about it. That's neither here nor there. What I wanted to say is, to me, it seems like it's some type of disconnect between the people here and the people here. But I don't believe the disconnect is in between here. I believe the disconnect is when you go back to who you have to report to, and then you come back to us. See, to us, it looks like, well, to me, because I don't know how, I can't speak for everybody else. To me, it looked like when people said whatever they were saying, you all listened. As I sat and watched, there was one European American that's on the panel that laughed when the man was sitting here talking. No problem with that. There was another European American falling asleep at least 2-3 times I saw right here on the panel, which tells me that they could actually care less about this situation. It's a lot of problems to whereas, like when Ms. Harris said, I'm sorry I said your name, but the young lady here, Ms. Harris said, I'm out here with y'all. We don't need you out here with us. We need you to be us up there. And if you are us up there, there should be no problem. The young lady here spoke for 5 minutes saying that she did not like something that was going on with the lady. But when you voted on it, it was all yays, not a nay here. So that tells me that you're speaking to us that I ain't with it. But as soon as they say be with it, you with it. That's wrong. On every platform, that's wrong. I thank you for my time.
Thank you for your time. The only correction, Nebraska, the only correction that I will make is we don't go back to nobody's boss.
Exactly.
We are the boss.
Hey, thank you.
Okay.
So
you are CHA.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I need to know. And if you are CHA,
that correction has been made.
Can I have one question before I leave?
Only one.
Only one. If you're CHA and you have it in the best interest for us.
Now, we don't need a message. I need a question.
This is the question.
What is it?
Why, when the young lady came up to present what she was presenting, it wasn't for us?
What are you
It was
talking
for a
about?
whole nother place. Everyone that's here, even the interns, I'm almost positive.
Okay, I got
All
you.
of us
I
have
got- I
stayed
got-
in housing
I
in
got-
CHA.
I got your question, so let me answer it as you move on. Here's your answer.
No dime.
No, I ain't got no more dime.
Okay, there you go, there you go.
There are rules that we have to follow also.
Understood.
Okay?
Understood.
That is above us that we have to acknowledge and deal with.
That's all I was
Now,
speaking on.
hold
is
on,
that
let me
it's
fit.
a-
No,
it's
no,
an
no.
above.
This ain't debate. Now it's my time. Let me say it. So, the issue you were talking about and the issue that Commissioner Washington was talking about is housing in black neighborhood versus the white neighborhood. Am I
Yes,
correct?
sir.
All right. Now, to us, we hear that, but we had obligations under, and this is your first time, so you may not even know this, but we had a 52-year-old lawsuit because we kept putting people, minority black folks and whatnot, in one congested area.
Exactly.
All right? And that's called the control order. We just settled that over 52 years, which said, CHA, y'all just can't go back building in the black neighborhood. You need to be looking at all over Chicago. Now, you can like or dislike that.
Oh, I understand.
But what I need you to know and not know, I need you to know that's a fact. So we sit up here and understand that we need to put more houses in the black community over land. Francine tell us that all the time. We have other rules and regulations that we have to adjust to also. We are working with them all at the same time. I understand this is your first visit, so I thought I would share with you some of our concerns. We're not neglecting, and it's not our decision to just neglect the black community. There are a lot of things that's getting ready to happen in the black community as it relates to building and whatnot. So we were under court order for a long time that we had to deal with, okay? And this is one that you could like or not like. I didn't like it,
You, CHA.
but I had a power over me called the law that I had to deal with.
Understood.
Okay, so that's enough of that, and we're gonna move on, and we'll address our issue. I ain't no preacher. Listen, since that was the last registered speaker, I would like to thank you for your comments, your recommendations, as well as your concerns. We will distribute the responses to your comments at the September 18th meeting. I will now present a motion to go into closed meeting for approximately 30 minutes. And in addition to items 8, 9, and 10 listed on the agenda, in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, the board may discuss matters under the following exceptions. Personnel-related matters under C1 and C2, pending imminent and probable litigations under C11, purchase, sale, or lease of real estate property under C5 and C6, an audit review under C29. May I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Are there any opposed votes?
No.
We will now go into closed session and be back in approximately 30 minutes. Thank you all.
The event today is a unique opportunity for our CHA bigs and our littles to coexist with people that are very successful in many different categories. We have so many different people from diverse backgrounds. If they're entrepreneurship or finance or in government sector, they can really see that there are so many different paths that they can go down, even if they never even thought about it.
Talking about career advancement is really important because the students are at an age where that's appropriate. So they're starting to think about these things, and so we have a wide variety of individuals in different sectors. So it piques any student's interest in what they may potentially want to do post high school.
My big thing I want them to take away, there are people out here that are willing to help you. All we need you to do is stand up and say you want it. We're here for you. Coming from the housing complex and living there my entire life, so it's really dear to my heart.
One Million Degrees accelerates community college students on pathways to economically mobile careers. So how we do this is really ensuring that our students are supported through their experience at community college and making sure that they have a system of supports around them.
We at CHA are very excited about this expanded partnership with 1 Million Degrees. We have had a partnership with the City Colleges of Chicago, an intergovernmental agreement for over a decade that has allowed us to support our CHA residents attending city colleges with tuition, books, and fees through a voucher system. And this new partnership with 1 Million Degrees will expand the support that our CHA residents have at City Colleges of Chicago.
I actually came to college with the intention just to see if it was right for me. However, being full-time, it actually showed me that even if I don't like a class or even if I don't want to take this certain professor, like 1 Million Degrees has shown that it's better to just get through it, because at the end of the day, a degree will change my entire life.
A lot of things have changed for me since I started coming to this school, like 1 Million Degrees. I get a lot of support here. It's more of a community.
So in high school, it was really hectic. I didn't have no help, didn't know what to do. So when I got to OMD and I talked to Chris J, I needed a pathway to start getting nursing, seeing what all classes I needed. So she really got me on track with it.
We provide financial support in the form of performance-based stipends. We provide tutoring support, and we provide study groups on campus for our students. We also provide personal support, so a program coordinator, somebody who's working with students one-on-one.
First and foremost, financial aid. I didn't understand how any of it worked, and Melanie, one of my the campus coordinators, she actually showed me everything that I needed to know.
It makes you feel like you're not alone. Don't go through it alone. There's always somebody in your corner with you.
We're looking for the students to grow academically. We're looking for the students to grow professionally and the students to also grow personally throughout this program.
1 Million Degrees are also not only work with you, but they'll work for you in a way. If you mention something in a conversation, they'll bring it up in a session, they'll talk to someone, they'll reach out to someone for you and give you information that you didn't even know you needed.
What I need is very different from what somebody else needs, and they fill that gap. They support you financially, emotionally, psychologically. This is something that's needed and vital to you, your health and your well-being. And you're not going to be the same person going in that you are coming out.
in January of 2018, I attended the Take Flight event. I had no idea what to expect. Graduated in 2017, couldn't find a job. I was job hunting maybe for like 6 to 8 months. I came to the event. I met with Catherine from BMO Harris Bank, and she asked for my resume. I handed her one, and the very next day I got a call from a manager at BMO Harris, and here I am. I was job searching for 6 to 8 months, and then I just kind of got to the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna be a bum. Like, it's just not working for me. And I didn't realize how hard it was to find a job. Like, you hear people talk about it, and it's just kind of like, no, you fill out an application, like, you'll be fine. You know, you just call, you stay on it. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be. So CHA was a blessing.
At the 2018 program, Kiera Russell, we met her here. Ironically, late in the process, late in the day, which led to the beginning of a process of her finding a full-time job. That is just a fantastic happening that worked out. She's been with us, I think, about 10 months now and doing very, very well. So hopefully she'll be with us for a long time.
It's exactly what I wanted to do, dealing with people. I like to help people. I like banking. I got my degree in business administration, so it's exactly where I wanted to be. So I love it.
Today is Take Flight Staying the Course, which is our midwinter check-in with our current CHA college students and recent graduates. We position this event specifically in January so that we can touch base with our students before they head back to school for spring semester, or also check in with those grads from May who may not have landed a job in their field just yet.
Events like this are super important for the community because they give kids a chance to not only meet companies, but make potential connections that otherwise they would be going without. I think one of the things that most college students don't realize is the importance of networking and of making those connections.
Attending an event like this is awesome because not only they bring different companies from different statutes, but they bring companies that you've never heard of before here to meet with you, take time out their busy schedule to meet with us, to give us internships, and to give us more money in our pockets to pay for schooling and things we need in the future.
I think part of the goal should be that you walk out a little bit more exposed, a little bit more smarter about what's out there in the marketplace. We're banking, but as I look around, there's other industries and other opportunities. And you know, when you're young, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know a lot about some of these career paths, but if they can take the time, engage in what should be a pretty friendly base of employers here, I think they can learn about some different paths they might want to consider.
The networking went well, mainly because since I'm a senior at my university, I've been applying for jobs already. So coming here and already having applied for one of the Blue Cross Blue Shield positions, it was very refreshing to meet them here today.
For us, it's really the next level of the work we do. Making this last connection for them is something that no school does. And so it's really important for us as a housing partner to extend our network to our students and make sure that they're aware that we support them from the day they start school, past graduation, into their first job.
As I see the struggles that students just like myself go through trying to find these opportunities, and so I think noticing that struggle but then coming here to see that the opportunities are available is what really just shook me today. So yeah, I'm leaving with that still on my heart.
So today, on a cold, wintry, very snowy Saturday, we are having our annual Youth Summit in partnership with the Chicago Housing Authority. We've done this annual Youth Summit engaging young people who live in public housing to get together from all across the city in one spot downtown and to really get trained on how they can identify issues that are important to them and how to take action.
So I've had the pleasure to sit in with a few workshops. So the kids are doing breakout sessions where they're having engaging conversations, talking about what's going on in the community. They are doing skill building exercises. The workshops consist of talking about what's in their neighborhood, getting to know one another.
I want them to take away that there is people out there that actually care about them and that want to see them be successful in life and have all the things that they need in life in order to get to the success they want to get. That they don't have to struggle. They can come and get help.
Today what's happening is just basically a call of kids from different communities, just coming in, just expressing the way they feel about what's going on in their community. As of right now, this is the fair, the resource fair, just get them the resources that they need to succeed basically in their community.
To leave today's event understanding that they have the skills, they have the energy, and they have the resources within them. We're going to bring it out of them, and they can hopefully move forward really approaching situations and approaching problems in a different way.
So today we're at the 35th Chicago Housing Authority Senior Gala here at the Hyatt Regency. We have 1,800 seniors coming from across all over the city of Chicago. We've got Oak Street Health here that's actually doing photo booths. It's been really fun for them to do that. They get pictures with their friends, and also they get to go ahead and enjoy entertainment.
All you have to do is stick that camera through that door and see them seniors out there dancing. You heard them laughing with Mr. Wallace while he was talking and telling his jokes. Man, let me tell you, the energy is just great.
I like everything, the entertainment, the enjoyment. See, I'm just a new senior, so I'm trying to fit in. I love it. I said I made it.
So this is a great opportunity to reach out to the seniors, let them know about services that are available within the city. A lot of times people just don't know that things are available and how to access them, so this is a great opportunity.
It's the North Side here in the room today.
It means everything to them. When this comes along, it gets them up, have them moving. They appreciate coming out. It's just everything to them.
As time go on and years go on, Julio, we're going to keep coming back again, and again.
I think coming here today, folks get to learn about how to improve their properties, financing options, working with the CHA, making sure that they get rents that are market rents, and recognizing that renting from HCV doesn't mean that they're going to get less money and we're easier to work with.
I came today because, well, I'm always impressed with the quality of the sessions. For example, this morning I went to something on locks and doors, and it's incredible, all the details and all the new information that people are interested in learning that we never knew before.
You know, in terms of learning, it's all about resources. For this particular event, your resource is actually right in front of you, and that's what I love. It's more or less like one-stop shop.
These are very important because you get to meet people that actually are going to, be the ones that are going to provide you the jobs that we need to do. It really is good marketing, good to meet people. The networking is real well. We found that typically, we do our best when we come to these kind of events.
It's about expanding what we do. It's about expanding opportunities not only for our participants, our families, but also for our owners and people that are not in the program.
So they bring them here today and have all the different trade associations here and so forth to provide that information. This bodes well with what we're trying to do in the city, to be a partner, not being an outsider. That's why it's so important. It seems like every year it grows and grows.
It's all about improving the city and making sure that Chicago is one of the best cities in the world. We want to have strong communities throughout the entire city so people can feel safe, they can have wonderful housing, they can feel like they are a part of a world-class city no matter which neighborhood they live in.
This year, our 11th anniversary of our CHA Operation Warm event, we've got 9,000 brand new winter coats that we're giving away to CHA kids who live throughout the city. We also have a service fair with 30 organizations, all sorts of awesome resources. We've got PepsiCo here with their bags of grocery products. First Book is back with 12,000 books. Every single kid will be able to pick out 4 books. We've got Walgreens providing free flu shots. CETA has light energy kits. ComEd, they have energy kits. Chicago Public Library is here. There's something for everyone.
What's happened here, this is the largest event, one single event of the year. It started here, I guess, about 11 years ago or so, and we've done this with housing authorities, tried to do it with housing authorities around the country. Now, you got something very special here. This is heartwarming. What's more important than helping another soul?
We didn't coat today.
Did you get your coat? And what do you think?
It's pretty good. It's blue, and I like it because my favorite color is blue.
It's very well organized. Everyone has been helpful. It's such a lively environment, whether the participants or the organization. It's done very well. You're not treated like a number. You come in, they're smiling, they're helpful. It's very well done.
When we come to events like this, it's very heartwarming and warming to come and get some coats. Because like she said, it's very cold. Just the music and stuff is very nice and well organized.
Yeah, I needed a coat because I only have small coats, so they gave me a big coat and I'm happy for it. It's fun, it's like music and everyone's happy here. It's fun.
We believe in giving children brand new coats, and the reason we do that is when a child gets a brand new coat, they know that somebody cares about them, that they're worth a brand new coat. They feel like $1 million, they have greater self-confidence, and they've got the warmth to get to school on a cold winter day.
The SOAR program is a 2-year demonstration from HUD. It's a grant-funded program giving us the opportunity to reach up to 750 CHA youth with one-on-one college support. It's a really big deal for us. At CHA, we have a variety of education supports, but the opportunity to add in college counseling and one-on-one support for our youth is going to be a game changer.
Tiffany is my navigator, and she's helped me a whole lot because at my school we only have one counselor, so it's like I have better access because I have individual one-on-one help versus having to compete with other people to get my counselor's attention.
Having a navigator is such a huge difference because I didn't really have nobody before. So Symphony, she's an amazing person. She helped me pretty much do college applications because I'm older, I'm 20, so she's helping me get into college. I've never been to college before, and she helped me apply for scholarships and stuff like that.
It's a big thing, like a chance for us to do things, like to see how it is to go around not being in high school and the classes, and it prepared me because it showed me certain things that I would need to bring and how much you would be on your feet just to walk around, traveling just to get to classes.
Actually, majority of our students are first generation college students, and because of that they may not have had someone, or they don't have someone in their family that may have gone to college, and so for us it gives us opportunity to really work with them and make sure that they have access to the same resources as other students who may have had someone in their family go to college.
So we've had our education navigators working in our different communities. The things that are really working are our college tours, just those one-on-one sessions. We're getting the FAFSA done, we're getting those college applications done. Sitting down with students one-on-one and really connecting around those applications has been really key.
Because it helps a lot, especially with education. Whether you are in 8th grade, they got 8th graders viewing colleges, and when I was in 8th grade, I wasn't looking at colleges, I was barely looking at high schools.
It opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't know. It made me want to explore my options for college.
Get into the SOAR program because not only does it help you connect with colleges and schools and stuff, you get a mentor, you get help, you get to see more.
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel supported. Even more it's support, but to know somebody that's in your corner 100% and always willing to help you and go out their way to do anything so you can be successful. It's amazing. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, today's event was to do outreach to residents that reside on the South Side, to connect them with companies and employers.
We're able to connect with candidates individually and talk about their skills and their desires for a job.
It helped me improve a lot because I learned different things from different people that I'm talking to them. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to carry that with me into my next job opportunity.
We are here to ensure that our residents are aware of the Section 3 field office, where we're located, and the services that we provide.
All the vendors are here, and what's so great about it, all of them are hiring. So we have someone here for everyone that fits everyone's needs. It's so important that our folks that want to work get an opportunity to get a chance to work.
Today I'm back. And today I got a full-time job. I'm not no part-time worker.
Well, so far this event has been helping me out. I feel confident today. The job opportunities are great. It's a great blessing, and many doors are opening for me. I'm looking forward to it.
So today we held our 8th annual Take Flight College reception, celebrating this year 175 CHA residents heading off to colleges across the country.
it's so good to be surrounded by other young people who are doing the same things, who have the same aspirations. And it might be different when you get down there. It's just good to be around that same motivation, the same people who are going through the same thing as you.
It's a good event. Like, I listened to the speakers, and their advice was great.
Run your own race. Don't worry about what the person on the left of you is doing or what the right of you is doing, because when you look to the left or you look to the right, you lose your own momentum.
Take advantage of all of your resources that are given to you. Colleges all have resource centers. They're here to help you.
There will be times where doubt will attempt to fool you into thinking that you are not incredible. Please maintain the idea that whatever school, room, stage, or table you find yourself at, you deserve to be there.
I'm just really happy, honestly. I got some laundry detergent, covers, sheets, whatever, lamp, pencils, paper, notebook, just basically everything that I need to be successful in school.
And these things will really come in handy when it's the end of the semester and I'm hungry, or I need some school supplies, and it's just good to get it at no cost instead of struggling when I get down to college.
College is such an important step in your life, and we are working in partnership to make sure that you are successful.
You always have a home here at the Chicago Housing Authority. It is at CHA where I received my first summer internship that opened doors for me moving forward to intern in Washington and even with the phenomenal Angela Rye. And it was at CHA where I gained an everlasting mentor who is always there for me whenever I need her for anything. And even my younger sister is here today, about to enter college with you all. So when I say CHA comes full circle and helping us, I mean it.
Part of the CHA's ongoing capital improvement program. This project is replacing old inefficient heating systems by introducing a fan coil unit, so a forced air unit into each apartment. What we really need to do is make sure their basic building systems are constantly working so our residents have a nice place to live.
The complaint for a long time has been excessive heat, too much heat. And the whole idea is to increase the comfort level that residents have. You know, the impact, I think, has been positive. And I do speak to a lot of our residents, so the impact is actually positive.
The quality of life living in CHA, first of all, to me is 100%. I'm very happy with the unit. I'm very happy with the way it was installed. The quality of my life has definitely improved. In the actual being able to say, I'm too hot and can turn it down. I'm too cold, can turn it up. Yes, I'm extremely happy that I can control my own heat.
It's a very steady heat. It's a good heat. I don't have any complaints at all with it. It is a step forward, a big step forward. You either shut it off or put it on and set your temperature, and that's it, and it stays right there.
I just feel better, you know, knowing that this new unit is in the building. They showed me respect when they came in here and just tried to modify and improve my unit.
So part of any CHA contract for construction, we have a requirement for Section 3 hires. So we hired residents, seniors at every single building to help us coordinate that work to go on.
Miss Angie came by, you know, she was walking down the hall, and she came to me and said, Miss Shirley, how do you like to work? I said, of course I do. And I went to shouting and I just went to jumping up, but I'm glad I got the job.
So these new fan coil units that are in every single apartment are really going to improve the indoor air quality. You're still going to feel a different sense of coolness, of less humidity in your apartment.
It have helped me so much. I don't sweat at night. I don't have to have the windows up. I'm very happy, very happy.
I'm learning how to work with a camera. Just because you're holding it like this doesn't mean like you're steady and still. Like I'm learning how lighting works and learning how sound works and how you need this for people and how you might need like interviews and copyrights to things.
Documentary is serious. This is something that can take you somewhere in life that you don't have to just feel like you have to apply for a regular job. You can actually have a talent, a skill that you can look forward to doing.
I like designing, like I like actually like coming up with concept art and whatnot for the whole thing. Like action A leads to action B, but action B could split up and become C and D.
When you play games, you have cheat codes, and those are kind of easy to put in, but the coding behind the gaming system is completely like difficult. You have to do certain things. I didn't expect to learn how to code things.
You come here and you pretty much throw yourself into a world that you've never experienced before. You create characters, you become your characters, you learn how to speak through your characters, through your words, through your actions.
I've never been this descriptive, you know, and they tell me how to be descriptive with the characters and how old they are, what they look like, are they important? And that's fun. That's fun to do.
It's helping me because I'm learning a lot about my government. See, I want to be a forensic scientist when I get older, and I feel like this helps me become better.
When you first hear about it, you're going to be like, nah, learn and earn, really. But then when you really like come here, it's really not going to be like school, because you're going to meet people that's going to feel the same way, and y'all going to wind up being so close.
Whenever you are passionate about something and you have that opportunity to finally do it and get paid for it at that, it's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling because you just can't beat it.
Shed Aquarium is bringing out fish from our local waterways. We are peeling back our local waters to show Chicagoans the other Chicagoans. Well, this idea actually came from the community, and they said, wow, with your new mission, it'd be great if you could have like an ice cream truck that traveled around and showed people fish. We can't see in our water, we don't know what the fish look like. And so we were like, wow, that's really interesting. So I brought it back to our team of aquarists and our facilities people and said, can we make this happen? And this is what we came up with.
It's like a puzzle, like you gotta like dig the stuff out like the sand and put it on like the thing like where it goes on the paper.
To see something like this is great. It's great. We need more of this. It's wonderful to see kids with the jumping jam and the kids having fun.
And so we want the opportunity to have the kids be proud of where they live and where they come from.
So we want to bring something out here to give them a sense of pride, a sense of ownership, and let them know that regardless of what the outside talk about, Argyle is a great community, and they should be proud of where they live.
In closed session, and we're ready to start the second portion of our business session. The board secretary will call the roll, please.
Here.
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 Here. Here. Thank you, Lee. So during closed session, commissioners discussed the following agenda items. Item number 8, which was ratification of the Sixth Amendment of the CHA corporate lease and authorization to approve costs associated with the office renovation. Item number 9, which was the authorization to settle a matter that CHA and I-Insure Indemnity Inc. had. Our CDL will corporate legal officer have a few comments. Shirley, you there?
Yes.
Please.
The Chicago Housing Authority has resolved a dispute with its former insurance carrier, I-Insure Incorporated, over whether the CHA is entitled to partial insurance coverage for the defense and settlement of the Haywood versus the Chicago Housing Authority class action litigation. HUD has approved the proposed settlement, and pursuant to the settlement, I-Insure has agreed to pay $750,000 to the CHA and pay for the CHA's legal fees and costs that exceed the self-insured retention.
Thank you, Cheryl. And item number 10, which is personnel action report. Are there any further questions or comments from commissioners on item number 8 through 10?
No.
Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve item 8 through 10?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed votes, abstentions, or recusals? Hearing none, the motion carries and the resolution for items 8, 9, and 10 are now approved. If there's no more business to come before the board, may I have a motion to adjourn, please? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all.